Bang! Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and we are live on Neevesknives, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we have a full show tonight, a real live one. We have KC from Knives Fast. He's going to be jumping in here very shortly. Then we also have Seems Logical, Ryan, one of the moderators, longtime supporter. He's jumping on as well. And we have one of the winners from the big giveaway who is going to jump on around 8:30. He's gonna open his Shurogoroth live on air, which is going to be absolutely amazing. He hasn't opened it yet, so that's so badass. We also have, I got a whole list of stuff because this all came kind of in order at the last minute. So I actually had a whole live pre-planned because last week's shit show excuse me, really upset me. So I made sure we had a lot of topics to talk about. 1 second, let me just I got a text. All right. So, how is everybody doing tonight? Let me get everything set up. Hopefully all is well with everybody. Before we start, I'm usually in the chat joining along. We're usually chit-chatting a little bit. At least I try to show up. Sometimes I'm there, but I'm just a little too busy. Now, last night, or was it yesterday? Yesterday or the day before, I sharpened my K390 again. Holy cow, guys, man. K390. If you guys ever get a chance to get a knife, which I think Spyderco is basically the only one using K390, it's like the best steel. I can't express that enough. The fine edge it takes is just, it's on another level of sharpness, but it also takes a ridiculous sharp toothy edge, whatever type of edge you want to put on it. And the only thing is that, like a lot of the real super steels like K390, the fine edge doesn't last a super long time. The working edge is what lasts like forever. But damn it, does it take a fine edge? Oh my goodness, it's ridiculously sharp. Yeah, but K390 is, they say it's like semi stainless. It's not stainless at all. It will corrode on you. But if you take care of it, like mine's fine. I got a couple little marks happening, but for the most part, it's pretty good. I do take care of it though. So Mike Emler, what's up, Mike? His wife and kids are home from Japan. Shout out to Mike and his family. Hopefully all is well. And shout out to Mike. Definitely go and check his channel out. I bought a Veneve 240/400, but can't get a sharp edge off of it. I can get a hair whittling off a coarse DMT and a Spyderco medium stone, but not my Veneve. What's going on? Well, yeah, that's interesting because you shouldn't have any issues with it. If you can get hair whittling off of DMT, you shouldn't have any issues with the Veneves. I mean, it's diamonds all the same. They're a little bit finer. What is it? The 400 would be what, like a 1200 grit, I think. Am I correct on that? Is it? Oh no, wait. The 400, is that the 50/40 micron? I can't remember. I have to look at them, but no, you shouldn't really have an issue. I don't know what could possibly be the problem, unless if you just need to get used to them. Now, the 800 and the 1200 is like mirror polishing, so you don't have to do that to get a hair whittling edge, but it can help. So I'm not positive. Maurice, thank you for the donation. What's up, Doc? What's up, Maurice? But yeah, I'd recommend just keep trying, keep working on it. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to start with my diamond plates and then move to my Veneve. That can give me a really, really good finish. So maybe try that. But really, I mean, just treat it like the diamond plate. The only difference is you are going to use a lubricant. I use soap and water on mine. You can use just plain water. I find that the soap does help. And we have company. Here is Casey from Knives Fast. Is he ready? He's ready. All right, let's get him in here. What's up, bud?
Hey, Jared, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me on.
Oh man, no problem. So Casey has let me scroll down. I'm sure you guys, or well, some of you guys, how many do we have in here? We have 59 people in here. People are starting to get in here. So we'll repeat it a couple times.
Yeah, that's great.
He's got a Kickstarter going. Why don't you know what? Actually, I wrote down some questions, which I already know the answer to some of these, but I think they're questions that people will want to know.
Yes, sir.
So, first thing, talk about your Kickstarter dates and everything else, price, and then I got actual questions though.
Okay. Yeah. So here's the knife for those of you that may not have seen it. This is the gotta get it right here. Tempest Knives Mach 51, titanium on the scales. Obviously titanium frame.
A little bit? There we go. We'll go
there we go. Titanium frame lock, is M390 on the blade, satin finish. I don't know what else I was going to say. Satin finish, flat ground, and you obviously have a little kind of a different design in that you have this cockpit fuller area for flicking it open, so a little bit different. But Maurice, that's it's actually modeled after the cockpit up here after a P-51 Mustang. Which side? This side. You can see the P-51 Mustang.
Pull it up
again.
Here. I'm gonna pull up myself out so they can see it clear.
Okay. Yeah. So I've got a picture of the plane right here, but this is the it's modeled after the cockpit of a P-51 Mustang, and then I obviously put a back window in there to give it a little bit of a flair of a car, and then you've got a 5-spoke. Whoops, man, I am having trouble with the backwards thing here. 5-spoke racing wheel kind of thing as the pivot. It is milled in there, manufactured by QSP over in China. And then everybody asks about this. The only thing back here that is not titanium is the clip. The clip is steel. So all of these, the pivot, the screws, they're all titanium and can be modified any way you want it to, that kind of thing.
Okay,
and by the way, like I've been telling I was just gonna say you can use a Lynch Spyderco replacement clip. It is the right size for those. So if you want one, people have been asking me that don't like which I don't know why you wouldn't like it, because I love wire clips, but for those people that don't like it, you can get a Lynch replacement. But you asked me about the dates. So it launched on Thursday. It seems logical. I'll get there in just a second.
Yeah. I'm going to pull those questions up because some of them are the ones I wrote down. So
okay, great. So it started on Thursday and it runs through the 26th of February, and so that's 30 days total. We're currently, as of about, I'll look real quick. As of a couple hours ago, we were sitting at 38 sold, and really to get the thing funded, 39 now. To get it funded, I need to sell at least about 120 to get it funded. I'm trying to buy 200 knives, basically.
Right.
And so to get enough money to buy those and fund it, I need to at least sell 120. So for those of you that don't know how Kickstarter works, it's an all or nothing thing. If it doesn't get funded, then I don't get any money. So it's not like your card doesn't get charged. You're literally putting it there, and once we hit the goal, your card gets charged. But then I would get the money after the full 30 days and then a couple of weeks. And then I can place
as many people together, and hopefully we can get as many people to join this and help out. Now, I had this written down. D-Bass wants to know, are there any changes that are going to be made to the prototype from the original, or the production version from the prototype?
Sorry. So I took there was a lot of guys. You guys got to imagine this is really tough because I have my opinions. I'm a reviewer, and then Jared and 10 other people have looked at it. And some guys said that one thing was an issue, and some said, "Oh, this is fine," and other guys
gonna get that,
that kind of thing. The one thing that everybody agreed on is back here. that I need to address this area to provide a cleaner, sorry about the focus there, a cleaner, well, let's see, a cleaner end to the edge at the finger choil there. I kind of like your idea, Jared. I'm working with my 3D guy now that does my CAD drawings, and I haven't decided if I'm going to my original idea, which is to extend the finger choil about 1/8 of an inch, which would do it. But I kind of like your idea of just going 90 degrees on the plunge. I'm going back and forth on that one, but that is going to be a change that's going to happen. The second thing that I was contemplating is a little room on lock bar access. Now, there were 100 different opinions on this one. And my first thought was to take this chamfered out area. Man, I'm sorry. I'm really bad with this whole backwards thing. So take the chamfered out area and move it up here a little bit. And then others were like, reduce, cut this down so your finger can grab the other side. And about half of the reviewers were like, I don't even see why it's a problem. I'm not having issues with it. So the answer to the question is on this one, I think there's enough that I could. Okay. So here's what I have to do. Okay. I have to judge what changes can I make to this knife that don't require, in my mind, another set of prototypes, because we're already going. So to me, all of those options feel like, to me, I would need another set of prototypes. Not the one here, the sharpening choil issue. I am going to fix that. That's happening. I just have to decide again, Jared. I'll take your opinion again, but whether I'm going to go 90 degrees here or whether I'm going to take just, like I said, 1/8 of an inch chunk right there. I'm kind of going back and forth on that. The lock bar access thing. So the biggest thing for me is if I cut this down, I think it takes away from the sleek lines of the knife. Mm-hmm. I really do. And to be honest with you, the more I've had the knife, the less of an issue it is for me. And again, the knife is sort of the lock has broken into the point that it's not really an issue for me. But and that's what most reviewers. So I think I'm going to leave the lock bar access alone. So the only change that I'm prepared to make at this point is that sharpening choil change. And the answer is seems logical. My really weird here. I am currently 52 years old. I was born when my dad was 45. My dad was a World War II veteran, but on a battleship in World War II. My dad absolutely loved. Well, you can imagine. Okay, think about it this way: you're on a battleship in the middle of the Pacific, and there's ships all around you, but then all of a sudden here's all these kamikazes. When the P-51s or any other American fighters or bombers or whatever came around and started trying to get rid of them for you, you got to imagine. So my dad would tell stories about the sound.
I can imagine
the sound of the P-51 Mustang. You would hear this sound above all of the gunfire and everything else, because if you've never heard the plane, it has got one of the most wicked sounding engines. It's a Merlin Rolls-Royce engine, and it just, when you hear one at an air show,
I'm imagining being like on the drag strip
I can't,
right now.
Just, right.
When they have like the cars with the rocket engines in them. Holy cow. We were on one time, and it was so powerful that our clothes, because we were like behind it but far enough away, our clothes was being sucked our body from the pressure. Every time you hit the gas, it was like boom, boom, and your pants were just like sucked to your legs, like you were wearing, super tight pants.
T-Double, I don't think it was a Dreadnought. He was on the DD 585 Harridan, which, if you read about the Harridan was actually hit by a kamikaze while he was on it. So, Jared, you got a second for a quick story? I always like to tell this story.
Yeah, no, let me just get the super chat really quick, and you can go ahead.
Yeah, hit it, man. Hit it.
Alika, thank you for the donation, man.
That's
I appreciate
awesome.
it. Always. We got one more coming in.
Yeah, I see another one there.
Yeah. These guys are awesome, man. Thank you guys so much, man. I can't thank you guys enough. Alan, thank you. Budget knife sharpener. Need help? My budget is $60. Well, hit me up on Instagram. No problem, man. We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I still want to get a KME at some point, but I still use a Lansky sharpener, which would fit in that budget.
Yeah. Lansky's at
The only
$50.
yeah,
But
the
you
only
get
problem
with the
with
base, it's like 75.
right. The only problem with a Lansky, right, is if you get the cheaper one, that you have to hold the vise in your hand.
Yep.
So
Without
it's
the
not
base.
right without the base, correct.
You
So
can get the work sharp though for $50.
that's
You'll
right.
get
Good point.
everything you need right there. Everything you need. And then when you have $5 extra, you can order the little base from Etsy, throw it under the clamp, and you know that'll pretty much give you
Oh, that's
everything you're
awesome.
gonna need. You'll be fine. You'll be able to get a great edge. You're not gonna be getting crazy mirror polishes, but you're going to have a really good edge, and you can always upgrade, you know, in the future. Go ahead with the story, bud.
No, just real quick. Some of you guys in the chat have already heard this story. I see Jason Brown there. I know he's heard this, but my dad was on, you know, in near the Philippines off of an island called Mindoro on the Harridan, and it was like 5 a.m. and he was woken out of his bunk and told he had been on in the radar tower, and then he was a fireman, you know, and of course you did a little bit of everything on a ship like that. But he was woke up at 5 a.m. one morning, to be exact, December 13th, 1944. He was woken up from his bunk and told he had to go to the back of the ship, that there was what he found out later, there was a new officer that had come on board, and he got assigned to the back of the ship and was being sprayed all day long. Went to the captain, to the XO, and told him he didn't want to be back there. So they swapped my dad and this guy. And about an hour later, my dad's on the back of the ship, this guy's in the radar tower, and the plane came down right into the radar tower, the kamikaze.
Yeah.
Long story short, we thought for years, and by the way, my dad's job was to go pull all the guys out before then he started, you know, fighting the fires and everything. So he went and pulled all these guys out. We found out a guy was researching a book called At War with the Wind, right about 2 years before my dad died, which you can imagine it's basically about kamikazes of World War II.
Right.
And the guy interviewed my dad, and my dad told him this story. Well, the writer went and did research and found this dude. So the guy my dad switched places with, the guy remembered my dad, and my dad drug him out of the fire and saved his life.
Wow.
So just one of those stories that just, but yeah, I mean, so there's my tie. My tie is I was fascinated with World War II growing up and airplanes. I grew up on a naval base in San Diego, and you know, planes and ships.
Of course, you're gonna be, you know.
So there's your answer. But the P-51 has always been one that I've just loved since I was really little. I had posters on my wall and everything else. So, yep.
So, what you know, the orange peel finish. Sorry, the
yes,
orange
sir.
peel finish.
Yeah.
That all the models, are they all gonna have that same finish?
Yes, sir. So that is correct.
Are they all gonna be identical, or is there gonna be any sort of different finishes?
So here,
like that?
Right, here's the story with that. Again, first knife, you have to understand, I'm trying to learn all this stuff.
I'll be honest, I don't think it's a good idea a lot of times for companies or for people to go out and do different finishes.
Right. The biggest problem I had was, see, there were people, you guys know this, there's so many opinions, it's crazy, but I love the satin finish because I think it gets across the look I was going for. But there were a lot of people that wanted yeah, exactly, Kevin Kirk. There were a lot of guys that really wanted the stonewash finish. So I asked QSP, and the answer I got was, and again, remember, I'm doing a Kickstarter. Okay. I decided I didn't feel comfortable enough to take the credit card orders myself and do the pre-order and all that stuff. So I'm doing a Kickstarter. They said I would need, if I'm ordering 200, it would have to be 100 of each. So the same answer went for if I wanted to do orange peel on one and maybe some other kind of milling on another, you know, that would be, I'd have to order exactly 100 of this and exactly 100 of that. And I just didn't know where this was going to go, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And so I would have hated to put an order up there and it had to meet, 100 of this and 100 of that and 50 of this or whatever.
And the first time you're getting your feet wet,
That's all. I just wanted to keep it simple. Now, my wife has asked the question, and I'll be honest with you guys. I was tempted to do something like a slightly cheaper version where, like, one side, it was still a frame lock, but one side was my Carter or something. And I wanted to do all those things, but it was just first time around. I took advice from a lot of people and just decided to keep it simple. Very much. Yeah. It's tempestknives.com, and that'll give you.
Somebody will throw it. Can one of the moderators please throw the link in the chat, please?
If you go to the Kickstarter as well, there's you can get to it through tempestknives.com. That's fine. But also there's a link on the Kickstarter itself.
Maurice!
Oh, look at that. We already picked up
donation, brother.
And we picked up another sale while we were sitting here. So that's good.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll take it. Whoever it was, thank you. Yeah, Maurice is cool.
Do you have, so I don't know what your designs look like. Was this just the first one? Are you planning on possibly doing more in the future? Do you have other designs written down?
So yes, I do. I've already been talking to the guy that did my CAD drawing for this one. He's going to help me make the change when I finally, I got a little time here, Jared, because the Kickstarter's 30 days. And then it's going to take a little time to get the steel after Chinese New Year, and then to build them out. So I've got a little bit of time here before I need to make a decision, but he's going to help me do the CAD redo here. And then I've got a much more budget friendly one that I'm going to do after this.
Nice.
It's actually it's changed a couple of times, so don't be surprised if it changes again. But right now it's a Warncliffe, and still has some of the. So this is the other thing, Jared. This is what I keep hearing from people. This knife has kind of become polarizing. It either speaks to you or it doesn't.
I think it's very polarizing, but in a good way. I don't think that's a negative thing.
Right. I don't think so either. I think
can you say it again? Bama really quick is wondering what it's modeled after. You want to?
Okay, sorry about that, Bama.
No, people are jumping in right now.
No, and that's great. So there's a couple of things. There's several things. It's okay, Jared. Let me back up. So I drew knives for 2 years. And every time I drew a knife, because I'm a knife guy, I would sit here and go, "Oh crap! It looks like a X or a Y or a Z." I kept saying in my head, because I'm a big spear point guy, and so I kept drawing spear points. And I'm like, "Oh well, that looks like this knife, and that looks," and so I literally sat down. And so if you see the picture of the plane behind me here, that's a P-51 Mustang, and I look at pictures. There's a guy I follow on Instagram that has a beautiful one. It's called Quicksilver, and he goes all over the country flying this thing. And so I was looking at pictures of a P-51 Mustang, and Jared, I can't
plane,
get it right.
By the way, guys, plane Mustang, plane,
airplane, correct. So the funny thing is, I was playing with at the time. I had just gotten it in a Kershaw Highball XL, and I really liked the Fuller. And so I was saying, what could I do? And then I saw this picture of a plane, and I went, bing, just like that, Fuller with a cockpit of a plane. And so I started doodling, and I literally, there's like 10 drawings over here of different shapes, and went to that. Now, I decided, because I'm knives fast, that I'm a big fan of sports cars and old Formula One. And
what's your favorite car?
For me, I'm a huge fan of a Porsche 911.
Damn it, it's my car though, man.
But I'm also a huge Aston Martin.
Aston Martin in my book, man.
I'm a big Aston Martin fan as well. It would be really hard for me if I came into money whether I wanted to get a 911 or like a DB9 or something.
Yeah, I totally. I've since I was a kid, like a little kid, I've been in love with the Porsche Turbo. I could talk Porsches for hours. Like, I love like the early 90s ones.
Those are the ones right there, man.
Yeah, like the 964. Oh my God. But here, this, I don't know what this is. Do you know what that is? The P40 Warhawk?
Yeah, the P40 Warhawk was okay. So the P-51 was a fighter bomber, and the P-40 Warhawk was more of a fighter. And correct me, John Doe, if I'm getting that wrong, but that's the way I understood it growing up. But it was also a World War II plane. So that's kind of what I was gonna. Oh, awesome, Ken Faulkner, man, you are the man, guy. I appreciate. You know, I'm a little sad because I tried to post in the Facebook group. There's this huge P-51 Mustang lovers Facebook group, and I tried to post the Kickstarter in there, and they took it down like 15 minutes later. I'm like, come on, man, because I think it's gonna really click with those people, and unfortunately, I couldn't get it to stay up there, but. What I was going to say is I would love to hear from people, Jared. You know, as I go forward, would people still like, you know, I may do holes, I may just do fullers, but do people, you know, as I go forward, if I do other designs, should I keep, you know, doing like cockpit designs and different things like
I don't personally think it's a bad idea.
Should I keep a theme or should I? Yeah. But the good news is by putting some car in there, and again, people have said this looks like a Mach 1 Mustang because you kind of got a little bit of trunk back here.
So. That's why I threw the picture up in you know, my video, because it was like that's what it reminded me of a lot of. It's just a car, period, when it's closed. Now,
right. So
I think going with
I want to Dominic, I want to ask Jared your question real quick. Because I've been struggling with this one. Everybody keeps asking me, Dominic's if M390 is hard to get. You see that one? So here's my question, Jared, and you correct me if I'm crazy, okay? My thought process is if I don't want to do more prototypes, it would probably be dumb knowing that Jared and Stasa have cut like crazy with this steel, and we know this heat treat is good. We feel comfortable about this heat treat. It would kind of be weird for me to go to another steel in a production model and not know how QSP's heat treat on the 20 CV would be if it was easier to find. People have been asking me that.
They can do M390, they could do 20 CV.
Okay.
The protocol should be pretty similar. Now, if you change steels like completely, like say the budget model you're talking about, right?
Right. On that one, I'm looking at 14C or Nitro V or right.
In 14C and Nitro V, they especially 14C is a steel that's extremely easy for them to heat treat.
Okay.
They're not going to get it wrong. That steel was actually designed to be heat treated on a conveyor belt for like straight razors and stuff. So that wouldn't be an issue at all. Now, of course, they can always do it, but like really good. You know, that's the difference basically.
Right.
14C, it's either good or amazing.
Right.
So there's really no bad. At least you don't really see any bad. But like M390 can be finicky, so there is a bad side to it.
Right.
Kind of like D2. D2 is the same way. There's a bad side to it. So it does depend. But 20 CV and M390, you're not gonna. The protocol should be the same.
Okay.
I don't think they would mess that up. And
it's definitely something I would consider if they came back to me when I'm ready to place the order and they go, look, M390 is going to be 90 days, but we've got a pile of 20 CV sitting here. Then I may do is send a message to the backers and just make sure everybody's okay with that and then move forward. But if it's something totally different, like Jared's saying, I'm not going to do that. I'm just not going to change to something totally different after people have already purchased it, if that makes any sense.
Anthony knows his Porsches a little bit.
There you go.
Awesome.
But
Logical says laptop rebooted. You want me hopping in right after? Yeah, you can hop in right. Excuse me, right after he jumps off. Yeah, no problem.
Cool. But the other thing I was going to say that everybody will see is we were talking about cars. If you look back here, this is really kind of a weird thing that most people wouldn't notice. If you look at some early 70s Formula One cars, they kind of, now it wasn't swept like this, but they had this real deep taper at the nose here. And then like a scoop in the front, like a hole in the front, like an oval.
Hey, you might want to answer this question.
Okay. I can't figure out how to order a knife. I get to Kickstarter site. It's not very clear. Okay. So when you get to Kickstarter, John, can I share my screen, Jared? Do you think I can, or is that just you? Let's see. It looks like I can. Sure. Yeah, let's see if I can. I can show him here and that will be easy. So
I'm going to pull this off. So,
okay. Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay. Shoot, I'm logged in as me, so it might not let me do this. Hold on.
You got
So
it.
see right here where it says back this project right here. You would click on that, okay? But I can't because it's see what it says. You can't back your own project. So you should just click on that. Now, another option is if you go down the page here. Hold on, let me close this. See how it says shoot. Where is it? Short. See, it shows up differently for me because I'm the owner of it. So that's the best way. Back this project. That's where you want to go. There should be another way on there that lists the rewards, and you can do it there. But you should just be able to see this back this project green button if you see that.
There you go.
Yep. Hopefully, let me know if that works for you, man. But yeah, so and the last thing I wanted to point out is Jared has heard me talk about this. I love all kinds of knives, and you guys know I'm a big fan of the Hogue Deca, but then again, I'm a huge fan of knives that really fit the swell of my palm well. And if you notice, this is contoured here, and in this dimension, not just, you know, a lot of folks just contour them in a certain way to fit your hand, but I really wanted it to swell out to really grab your hand so that it's good back here in this saber grip, or it's good up here in this. And then I love a thumb ramp, and that's just you know, money for me. This grip is just, you know, when you have reviewers saying it's one of the most ergonomic knives they've felt in a long time, that felt good.
I really loved how the center of the tip lined up really nice with the center of the pivot. You feel like you have a lot of control over the tip. So like if you were gonna, you know, drill a hole or do a utility cut, open things up, whatever, when you have good control, and it's not like a Warncliffe type of control where it's like a razor blade, so you still get the benefits out of the belly, but you still get the tip. That's why spear points are like my favorite style blade shape.
I agree completely. And again, if you want to be real technical, Jared, which, you know, I did this whole knife professor series a while back, so people have been on my case when I like fudge things on a blade shape. This is really a drop point. I mean, it's kind of, if you look, it's not perfectly centered on the spear point, but for me, this is a spear point. I mean, it really,
it's close enough. It's right there.
Yeah, it is. So I call it a spear point, but I have been corrected by a couple of people who have said it's not dead center. So
no, it's good. I might have even said that it wasn't like 100%, but that's still when the top of the spine and the edge follow the same, you know, geometry. That's a spear point. A drop point is like this, where the edge does not follow the same shape.
That's what I think. See, and that's what I was saying. Whether it's centered or not, you still have this same shape in both dimensions. So it's just, and that's really the swedge turned out to be. Now, I originally had the swedge coming back a little further, and QSP had some issues with that, so we kind of went to where it is right here. But I actually, now that when I saw it like this, I was like, yeah, you know, I really love that. So it looks
like a hood.
Yeah, it does. And a lot of people says in this way it looks like a racing boat or a plane, or and a lot of people have liked the fact that, you know, there's more going on here, like you got the 3 stripes here instead of just a block. You know, and I'm not the only one doing that. There's tons of people doing that, but the pivot and everything else. Bob, the knife junkie, keeps saying he just loves to sit here and look at it from this side. He says he thinks this side is prettier than this side. So I'm like, okay.
There you go. Call it a modified spear point. They do that with all the sheep's foots and Warncliffes anyways too, right?
Well, okay, so let's have that goofy conversation. So I got where did is it really upstairs? It's upstairs. So I got in the GEC number 49, which is the blue camel bone number 49, which is a Warncliffe. And I mean, it's a sheep's foot, but I said to somebody, whoops, I'm trying to get my focus back. Sorry about that.
No,
yeah, these cameras are something.
There you go.
Yeah. Wait. Some of these guys were like on me because I said it was a Warncliffe. But look, come on. It's got a Warncliffe style blade, but it's a sheep's foot because it turns down. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. So yeah,
I sometimes will try to be precise with naming them, but it
right.
is tough, man. Between Warncliffe and Sheepsfoot, some of them are so like they'll have everything perfect to like a Warncliffe, but one little difference will make everything.
So it
And
was right.
they are so similar, and people have used the term so
Interchangeably.
they call them each other, so it doesn't really matter.
So I don't know if I should show this or not, but I may do this. So I sit around and doodle all the time. I'm a doodler. So I want you to look, and again, I probably shouldn't do this because somebody down the now Shane Gables came up with this idea the other day. Like, dude, send it to the knife modders and get them to do a speed racer edition. So
Yeah.
that is what I'm the most excited.
Brilliant.
That is what I'm the most excited about. We did a whole KF Live, a Monday night KF Live, where I asked people what they would do to it if they bought one. And yeah, call them knife blades. Exactly. Yeah. All right, Jared. So let's see what you think. I shouldn't show this off, but this is a doodle I was doodling the other day. What would you call that blade shape?
I would call that.
It's another spear point, isn't it?
I would call it a spear point or a drop point because it.
Right.
It's a spear point-ish, but it does look like it's possibly a drop point.
Now that's an early doodle. I showed off an early doodle. I probably shouldn't do that, but you asked if I had more designs. There are probably
Bees is in the house.
There are probably there's Bees.
Go and follow his channel.
There are probably 6 or 8.
Join the hive.
Yeah, there's probably 6 or 8 different designs over here. 2 of them are fixed blades, and the rest of them are folders. So we shall see what comes next.
So let me ask you this now. Let's get in the weeds a little bit. What's in your pocket?
All right. So today I was helping my brother-in-law move.
And then I got another question right afher this.
I got to get it out. I got sweats on now, but I had the Rat 1 in OS 8 today. It's just a good work knife. Really gonna hold up to whatever you throw at it. And then the second one I had, because I knew I'd be cutting a bunch of cardboard, is the Crewwear DLT exclusive Dragonfly from Spyderco. This blade, Jared,
I love
I used to say I didn't know a whole lot about Crewwear, but I will tell you right now, this has cut so much cardboard with just a little bit of stropping, and that's it. This thing, and it's just a great one for that because you got good control because it's small enough to have good control.
Yep.
I thought I would hate Dragonfly, and I just absolutely dig this one. So that's what I had today.
Yeah, especially when you drop some super steel on there like Crewwear. Is such a good steel, and people ask what makes it so good. Well, one thing is the type of edge it can take. Crewwear takes, like, when people talk in the community about those fucking nasty sharp edges, those type of edges that are just like scary. Crewwear can take one of those edges, whether it's an ultra fine edge, like with a polish, or a toothy edge. Either one, it's ridiculously sharp. It holds a really good edge. It's actually kind of easy to sharpen too, and so it's a great super steel if you like to sharpen. You can lay back the angles really far and get a really fine edge where you're just whittling hair like crazy. And yeah, it's such a good steel.
Yeah, and again, I'm telling you, this is still the factory edge because all I've had to do is strop it. Bees, I actually do not have. I'm probably gonna get rocks thrown at me for this, but I don't have a Delica. Here's the Delica. Is that helpful for you in a size comparison? Sorry, I do not have a Delica. I'm really sorry. I don't.
Todd says Crewwear is the best. Yeah, I like Crewwear.
I was shocked.
Is another one. It's very similar. K390.
I was absolutely shocked at how good this steel is. I literally first time I cut with it, and then to just be able to strop it back to life like that has been
another
awesome.
thing. It can be very responsive to strops. It's an all around really good steel. where a lot of super steels aren't necessarily really good, or should I say hyper responsive to a strop. Of course you can strop them. Of course you can strop them back. Some do better than others. Crew wear seems to be pretty responsive to, obviously you want to use the right stropping compound, but it can be
Right.
very responsive to strops. Now, what are some knives that that kind of, I guess that you like to carry, that kind of inspire you, that are just knives that are kind of your style of knife?
Okay.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
what's your style of knife? What is
My style has changed a little bit recently.
it? It always
But
does.
tell you what, let me jump up here real fast and grab my case here. I was
No, I don't think I've seen
unprepared.
that one yet, Bama. I'm gonna check it out because I do watch most of her videos. I don't get them all, but I do watch most of them. But I will definitely check.
I saw that one.
out.
I saw it pop up, but I have not gotten to watch it yet. Now, Jared, my style again, it's funny. I've had some knives like this, but I think it kind of came to a head recently. I really love carrying the Mallory Forest.
Oh yeah,
And then
that's
of
a good one.
course the Field Duty EDC from Liang Ma. I love, look, ever since I figured out how to middle finger flick, it is my absolute favorite way to open a knife. So I
That's
love,
always how it goes. Once you learn how to
yeah,
reverse flick, it becomes, that's why everybody who dislikes reverse flicking, it's because you haven't mastered it yet. Once you
right.
do, it becomes your favorite way.
So yeah, and I prefer that over a flipper to, for the most part. I just wanted the only thing, and I like thumb stud knives. The only thing I don't like these days, and again, I hate to say this because there have been a couple good ones, but I'm just not a good big front flipper guy because it's just, I'm not great at it. The QSP, Gannett, that one was smooth as crud. The Civivi Lazar, smooth for me.
The McKenna is really good.
I haven't. But it's, the McKenna's what a bigger version
It's
of the
just like
Lazar.
the
Yeah,
one you just mentioned.
yeah.
It's just a smaller version.
But yeah, this is another one that I'm really loving. I picked this up not long ago. That's my Malibu.
Yeah.
Blade Show West exclusive version, and just love it. But to me, even this older one that I've had, whoops, and I screwed it up right on camera. Look at that. The Giant Mouse GM2. Just again, my style. This one does have a flipper tab, but I rarely use it. I'm either thumb flicking it or middle finger flicking it. Has that great carbon fiber that's been CNC machined. I mean, look at that. It is a beautiful knife. It really is.
I'm going to get this donation. Maurice, thank you for the 5 bones, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Jelly beans, he says. Not your average EDC just gave a terrible review for crew wear on Delica. It is what it is. I'm not going to disregard what she says about it. I know Spyderco usually does a really good job with their crew wear. Maybe it's just that one. You never want to take one example and listen, guys, I'm going to say this again in slow motion. Never take one person's example or one person's experience and spread it across like fucking mustard or like peanut butter. Don't do that, because that's not how it works. Sometimes things happen. You don't know what happened with that particular knife, that particular steel in the factory. So don't spread it across them all. Now, her experience, it could be her, and I'm not taking away her experience. I'm just saying it could be her, could be the steel, could be both, could be 100% just the steel. But even myself, I've like literally put a stamp on a steel and then 6 months later changed my complete opinion on it after getting multiple examples of it.
Sorry, I'm trying to answer Bama Knife Guy here.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go
ahead. Mine don't look crooked. He said, "Are your
penises now? What are we
talking?" No.
Oh,
he said,
Malibus. Oh,
he's asking if my primary grinds are crooked. That a lot of people have had that. No, they seem to be even on mine. Seem to definitely be even. And again, I'm half blind, so maybe somebody else would see something different, but doesn't look like it. Looks you can't tell on camera, obviously, because my camera seems to not want to focus. But nope, Now I was going to say another thing I love, Jared. You asked about my style. If I can middle finger flick it and it's got thumb studs, I'm all over that as well. This
Yeah.
is the Centurion.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
I picked this up recently. We talked about that, and it's my first experience with S90V.
Yep.
So I'm wanting to do some testing on it and really kind of sharpen it and do some stuff and see what I feel about that steel, because haven't experienced it. So
Yeah, I tried. So S90V, it's going to be different across the board. Spider Code is going to be different than Tucson's. Tucson's going to be different than Miguron's a little bit. I tested one knife from Miguron where they did it, and I'm not going to say like it was as good as Spider Co's, right? Or maybe some other companies, but it wasn't bad, right? Like I didn't get the sense that it was bad. I tested it. I didn't do a control test, but I tested just with everyday stuff. I sharpened it up. It felt good on the stone, so there was nothing wrong with that. I just noticed that it didn't carry a long-lasting fine edge. The working edge was good, and that's kind of how S90V can be. It won't take its fine edge won't last a very long time. A lot of the real super steels like those, that's the way they are. Their working edge lasts forever, but their fine edge doesn't. So, it just is what it is. But S90V is a fucking amazing steel. It is such a good steel. And a lot of people agree. Like,
I mean, this
seems to be very popular.
So far, I'm pretty impressed with it. And
yeah,
it's different. So far, I feel like the edge feels different to me than it does on some other steels, and I don't know what I mean by that, Jared.
Yeah,
it feels maybe toothier, maybe I don't know on this particular factory edge. I don't know.
I did talk to them, and I'm not sure when that one was done, but I did talk to them about changing their angles. Now on this one, they did do that, but I know on the previous models, they contacted me and they asked me. They said, our knives aren't that sharp, huh? And I said, no, they're not. And they said, well, what can we do about it? I said, your angles are too high. They were sharpening their angles like this. And I said, you need to, like this. And I said, you need to lay them back like this, more keener, where the edge bevel's bigger, right? Especially if it's a little thicker behind the edge. And when I say that, I'm not saying like it's thick in a bad way. I'm just saying when the edge isn't 10 thousandths behind the edge, when it's more like 20 thousandths behind the edge, you don't want a 30-degree angle on it.
Right.
Want a 17.
Right.
Even if you can get up to 18 degrees per side, that'd be amazing. So that can dramatically affect how sharp it feels. Like you will go from this and with the exact same grit, same finish, same process, and say this feels dull to wow, this thing is sharp.
Right.
Just angles. Angles is a big factor.
I believe it. So it's not just about the geometry of the bevel, it's about the geometry of the actual edge. So that's pretty important. And I have seen that over time. And I just, like I said, it's my first time with S90V, so I just want to play with it. I don't want to give an opinion on it yet and that's one thing, Jared, I should have gotten you to just do it, but I did that Knife Professor series and I kind of stopped when it came to steels because I didn't feel like I'm not an expert in steels at all. There are some steels I feel very comfortable talking about, and there are some that I do not. And so people wanted me.
There's a lot of steels.
And that's why I said it when I started researching it and talking about it with people. I'm like, everybody has a different opinion. So it's just like you said. And by the way, I want to add to what you said. You said something about don't take one person's experience as a bad heat treat all the way across the board, because there can be a problem, there can be whatever. I'll say this. You can have a knife come to me and I can say, well, the edge is this or that or the other, and you never go to Jared and he's going to say something. He might say something different about that edge because, which is the same reason I always tell people, don't just watch my review, watch more than one, and
you want to try to find people that actually you kind of share not the exact, but you share some opinions, right? Because one person say if I hate titanium, right? But you love titanium.
Right.
And now I get a titanium model in and I'm just kind of ragging on the way it feels, the way the lock bar feels. And then you're like, well, I guess I ain't getting that fucking knife.
Right.
But little did you know, I fucking hate titanium.
Right.
Right.
And
So
guys,
you
by
couldn't
the
take in my
right,
my
just to
experience.
reinforce what Jared's saying, if you go to tempestknives.com, I've got everybody's reviews so far down the page, and one person will say this is this way, and the next person will say this is totally different, you know.
Mhm.
And matter of fact, just to give you an example, and Jared, I don't mean to start an argument here because
No,
this is
no, not at
everybody
all.
has a different opinion.
Not at all.
Jared has said, and look, I don't disagree with you. I just, my experience is different than yours.
Yeah.
Jared said he feels like orange peel can make a knife feel slick. Bob the knife junkie has it right now and says it's adding all kinds of grip for him and he loves it. So I don't know. To me, the orange peel feels really good in my hand. But again, everybody has a different experience, and that's kind of why I think it's important that we have these conversations.
It could be difference in moisturized
It
hands.
could be. It could
Right?
be.
My hands might be super dry while Bob's is fucking lotioned up, you know, really good. You don't know. It could be a lot of things. I could have plenty of calluses and scars on my hands. That
Exactly.
But it did feel slick to me. And like, you know, I didn't think that it was something that like I couldn't control or anything, but I felt the
right. And
for a little texture. And it also could have been something like where I was carrying a textured knife all week.
Right.
And then I jumped onto that one because, you know, just as well as anybody else, like if you carry a giant knife and then grab a small knife,
oh yeah,
really small. Just like if you carry a small knife and then grab a big knife, it feels really big. But if you walked around with that knife for a week, it would feel normal.
Right. Like I've been playing with the Rat 1 all day. Let's pick up the Rat 1 and see what I think of the Rat 2 and see what I think of it. Yeah.
S90V hard to sharpen, or am I thinking S110V? S110V can be very hard for most people to sharpen. That's probably the most difficult steel for most people to sharpen. S90V, see, I don't like to say hard to sharpen because the big difference between steels is just time. They all sharpen the exact same. Just this is the two big factors: time and burr removal. So S90V with a lot of people, some people find it more difficult because it does take a lot more time than say a 14C28N. Now S90V, the problem with it is the burr removal. So people have a huge problem removing the burr. In my experience, if you want to do S1, I'm sorry if I messed that up. I meant S110V. Hopefully I said that. But when you deburr S110V, you can do a couple single passes on each side, but do them extremely light and just go right to the strop. So you don't want to do like a normal burr removal. Like a lot of people, after they get their last burr, just go right to the strop. That's how some people do it, or they drag it through wood and then go through the strop. But you do have to play with it a little bit because depending on the heat treat, that's the big problem with S110V. Its burr is very, if you try doing passes per side to knock the burr off, it'll go back and forth for days. And I'm not exaggerating. Like it won't. Most steels, when you do a burr removal, you can do a couple single passes on each side and the burr will go back and forth and then snap off. S110V will just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It'll never come off. So that's why I said you can fatigue it with a couple single passes per side, then just hit the strop. And the strop, usually it'll snag it and rip it off. But doing it with the stone, for whatever reason, it just sits there and goes back and forth, back and forth. It's weird.
Interesting.
S90V is my favorite steel to sharpen. Hands down. Shane knows what's up on my S90V edges. Yeah, I love sharpening S90V too. But for people that are I don't want to say inexperienced, but people that are a little less experienced with sharpening, S90V can be a little bit more difficult for them. But it's just more time. That's all it is. S90V, when you know how to sharpen or when you get it down, it takes a ridiculous sharp edge. It's a really good steel.
Awesome. So I'm looking forward to playing more with that knife. And I like I said, my only complaint, if you saw my review, my only complaint on this knife is the detent's a little too light. However, again, for a guy that's going to middle finger flick it 2/3 of the time, it's perfect. It's
want it like that.
Absolutely perfect. But on the thumb stud with your thumb, it feels really light. Like I don't have enough resistance. I still can't fit. I don't fail it. But I just wish it was just that slightest little bit stronger on the detent.
Alex is in here. Shout out to Alex's knife box. What's up, brother? I love strapping my zip. So you can, luckily, with that, and I say this a lot of times with people when we're talking about a knife, you get a knife and the detent feels light or strong. You can, especially if it's by a little bit, right? If you only need like it a little bit stronger, it's an easy fix. You can easily tune the lock bar strength and give it a little bit, because just a slight, and I'm talking, when I say slight, I mean like the ever so slightly, just a little bit of a bend of the lock bar increases the detent massively.
Okay.
So it's pretty easy. And just like if it's a little too strong, it's easy to back that off.
Okay. All right.
And people can do it at home. It's not like you need a lot of experience. You just be careful. And like I said, a little goes a long way. So you're not trying, and you can always put it together, test it out, and then try it again. People hate taking apart and putting back their knives, but that's what you got to do.
Hey, John Pauly, do me a favor and just send me an email. And I see a name in here that just came through as somebody who purchased, but I don't want to say if it's your real name. It's a little different than your name that I see in the chat here. I don't want to say it if you don't want it said. So, but I see something that seems similar to your name, just having bought one. So, or signed up for the Kickstarter, but the email would be, just send it to the knivesfast@gmail.com and I'll double check that you're in there, but I believe you are.
I heard of that too, Alex. I heard about that too. People going blind playing with the lock bars.
But yeah, that's interesting. I'll have to chat with you more on that, Jared, before I try it. But just like I said, if it was just the slightest little bit stronger, it's not like it doesn't have a detent. I mean, It absolutely does. And again, it takes, it takes a lot of effort to get it to pop out. So it's a good detent. It just, again, maybe I'm becoming a detent snob like Lefty, but
you probably are. You've been hanging out with him a little bit too long. You need to stay away from that guy.
I do.
Also, leverage point is a huge thing,
right?
Too, because you can have a good detent, but just where the studs land compared to the center of the pivot, you just have a too strong of a leverage point,
right?
So you might need to counteract that.
Yep. And this one, that is one thing I would say about this knife is I think the studs are in the right place. You got a good access to them. Everything else.
Absolutely,
so,
Jim. Absolutely. Yep. Can somebody throw him up a link, please?
I don't know I don't think I can throw it in here, but I would if I could.
They'll get it.
Okay.
They'll get it for sure.
Yeah. So, and thank you, everybody. I just want to say this one more time because there's been a lot of confusion. Now that we got more people in here, Jared, the way this works, guys, is that it's open for 30 days. And a lot of people were thinking, their credit card, what happens is your credit card doesn't get charged right away. You put your info in, you say, I'm backing this project. And then when I reach the goal, which you can see, it gives you the bar, tells you how far along I am. And when I hit the goal, which is going to be somewhere around 115 knives, depending, because again, there's some backers coming in there that there's a couple backers that haven't bought a knife. They just gave like $10, $20, $30, which is great. You can do that as well if you just want to donate to the project.
Awesome. But I honestly didn't know that.
Oh yeah. If you don't want to spend $255 on the knife, but you think what I'm doing is cool and you want to give $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, do it.
There it is, Jim.
That would be awesome. So
definitely. Yeah, guys, if you guys just have a few bucks, you guys can just chime in just to help him out, let him get to his mark, man, because it would suck to go through all this work and not make it. So let's help him make it, which I know you're gonna, but I'm just saying,
Yeah, I hope so.
You want it to happen.
Man, I really do. Well, the thing is, it's Kickstarter, so a lot of people knew they didn't have to rush. So I know there's people that have told me, I'm going to do it next week, and I'm good with that. And I had to go across different paydays, and but you won't be charged until the project is funded. Until it's funded, and then once it's funded, then hey, go ahead, Maurice. If you want to spend $400 on the knife, go for it, brother.
There you go.
Hey, you know what? Make it what would that be? $510, and you get two of them.
Two of them. There you go.
But
you got your beater and your keeper.
There you go. But the thing is, Jared, what I desired when I got to the point that I started drawing this cockpit, what I wanted was I wanted a knife that could be a great user and yet would have just a design thing that when you whip this out and show it to friends or whatever, they're going to be like, whoa, what is that? Because trust me, I've walked around with this and that's what I get all the time. Wait, pull that back out. What was that thing?
Oh, I
You
bet
know,
you do. I bet you do.
because it's got a different vibe. It's kind of cool, but you're not losing working knife, usable. People have commented on how, because it is 3.2 millimeters on the blade stock, nice, thin, and slicey. I mean, it's not quite atom thin, but it's pretty dang close. I mean, and that was one thing Jared and I talked about. I was adamant. Originally, QSP wanted me to go thicker on the blade stock because they weren't sure how the fuller would work, but I knew from my experience and measuring very carefully with the Highball XL that a thin fuller would work as long as they did it to a 90-degree
as long
edge.
as it was nice and sharp,
right? And they did, and it's rolled off, it's chamfered, it's not going to cut you or hurt you or anything like that, but it's definitely sharp enough that it works. So.
When is your next sharpening along happening? I will be doing another sharpening video here pretty soon, guys. I actually do have one set up. I'm actually planning on doing probably a live where I'm going to sharpen like 5 or 10 knives in a row. So, now
Wagstaff, that was awesome of Austin at C. Reisner to do that. He just reached out to me. Hey, do you mind if I send an email to my followers? I'm like, really, dude? Please. So yeah, that was awesome.
Alex is a badass Marine, so he strops with a handful of sand. But yeah, I know one thing I really liked about that knife is that it's not like other designs. There's so many designs out there that, you know, they're not copying each other or anything like that. It's just so many shapes and designs. But when we finally get, and people say it too, it's like, oh, it's boring, it's this, it's that, talking about all kinds of designs. And then finally now we get something that's super unique. You know, you don't see it every day, but it's not like gas station unique. It's quality unique. It still has a simple design to it with amazing features, and it has a good story. It has like all those things that most knife people love to get in a knife. So
and again, guys, the thing is, I'm not going to do something because I'm a knife guy just like you. I'm not just some guy coming into knives for the first time. So I want a knife that's going to work. And man, this thing just mows down cardboard. I end up breaking down a ton of cardboard, and it's just really, really cool. So yeah, and again, back to the clip thing. I just love a wire clip, and Jared knows from carrying this guy goes to the side a little bit. So if you're carrying it in your left pocket, if you're a right-handed person, or in your right pocket, if you're by the way, it is reversible.
Yeah, it is reversible.
And oh, by the way, I got this question the other day. A left-handed person said, are you going to make a left-handed version? The answer is no. And if you go look at Lefty EDC's video on this knife, he will tell you it worked for him fine left-handed, just like it is.
Yeah.
He flipped the clip and he had no problem whatsoever. But what I was going to say is it tips to the side. So now I can take and get my hand past that in my pocket, no problem. And these are all things. Yeah, Bama Knife Guy, I appreciate that. But I just, you know, this is all the things that I like and dislike about a knife coming together to make a knife that I think has all of those things in it. So the 50-50 choil is like money for me. I am 100% this grip, pinch grip on a 50-50 choil with the thumb ramp. That is me 100%. So
I love being able to get up nice and close to that blade where I can get full control and leverage on the knife. Even with utility cuts, I like being able to put my middle finger there too. You know, I like just being able to get up nice and close to that blade because you get maximum control that way. You know, there's a reason why Spyderco
totally
incorporated it in most of their knives.
Right. And again, you'll see there's tons of designers doing it, but the PM2 is the first one I experienced like that. and just love it. But then you got designs like this from like I said, from Dylan Mallory, and it's not really a 50-50 choil. It's like a forward choil.
Yeah.
But it's still, you still have a ramp here. You still have a way to get, I just love a choil. But the 50-50 is the one that I just, and that's why a lot of people ask me, could I do a version with a flipper tab? And the answer is I can't. I mean, there'd be a flipper tab right in the middle of your finger choil. So, you know, I'm not going to do that with this particular design. I do have designs drawn with flipper tabs though.
What factors did you consider making a wire clip versus something like a Benchmade or a Spyderco style clip? Just
experience, minimalist. I feel like for me, when a wire clip is in my grip, I feel like there's enough flexibility in that grip that it does not become a hot point, a hot spot in this part of my hand. So this is the part of your hand, that pad right there on your pinky, that usually a clip, if it's going to get you, that's where that clip is going to get you. And I don't have that issue with a wire clip. And it's just that simple. And I love the way it hangs in my pocket. I love the simplicity of it sticking out of my pocket. It's just, I hear what you're saying. And again, there is, for those that came in late, there is the option of a lynch clip. They sent me to, they will be putting, when the knife comes, oh shoot, I forgot to tell them it's out on the Kickstarter. I need to. They're going to put up that these are available and they fit. So it's just literally,
you're gonna, during the Kickstarter, you're gonna be able to order one. Is that what you're saying?
No. They're gonna put it on their website that it fits.
Oh, that you can do it.
That it'll fit on this knife. Yeah. I just need to remind them that
it's. Thank you for the donation.
Awesome. And another one right after it.
And then Asa's actually about to come in here. That's the winner of the Shiro Gorov. He's gonna do the unboxing live with us.
Well, I'll thank you. And I can bow aside anytime you need me to, Jared.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because we got Seems Logical jumping in.
Absolutely
and coming in. So
yeah, I don't want to take too much of your time, man, for sure.
Everybody, please go over there, support, help out however you can. And you know, if you guys can, you know, get a knife, you know, but even if you guys can just chip in and help them out, I'm gonna do it right after I get off the live. I'm gonna try to chip in a few bucks.
Thanks, Jared.
So
and we got two new knives sold during the stream, so thank you to those guys who did that. Appreciate it very much.
This live's gonna get a bunch of views throughout the next 48 hours.
Yeah,
so hopefully we get this the message out there so people can start jumping in.
Really awesome of you to have me on. I love telling the story of the thing, so I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you guys have a good one. I'll tune back in a few minutes.
Later.
All right.
All right, Asa and Ryan, whenever you guys want to jump in, just jump on in. I already sent the links. Seems logical. Whenever you're ready, do you guys want to see Asa show on first? Yeah, you know, it's up to you. If you want to do that first, and then he's right here. Never mind. Fuck it. What's up, bud?
Hey, Jared.
How you doing, man?
Let me mute my phone so I can hear you.
Okay, we got a little bit of an echo. Do you have headphones?
Yeah, I got headphones.
Oh wait, never mind. It's gone, I think.
Yeah, because I turned off my phone.
Oh, I was
looking on my phone while the laptop was rebooting.
All right. So how you been doing, man?
Good. Shoveling snow. Good workout.
Yeah, man. I seen that picture. Holy shit.
I think
you got a shit ton, man.
Just under 2 feet is what we got.
Wow. Yeah, we didn't get that much. Last week we got a little bit, but still not that much. But it's been so cold. Like the other day, it was with the wind chill, -19. That's why I said the story when I took this out of the mailbox. I said it wasn't the company's fault, man. It was when I took it out, I unboxed it, and it was literally frosty. That's how cold it was. It was like, damn, because it sat in the mailbox for a few hours. So what are you carrying today?
Kind of boring today. I got Civivi Praxis.
That's not boring though, man. That's an oldie. Oh, here we go. We got Asa in here.
I'm interested to see this.
Nice.
Asa?
Asa, can you turn your phone sideways?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
That's full
Perfect.
screen.
Yeah.
Awesome. Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So for anybody that's just jumping in or doesn't know, he is the winner of the Cheryl Goroff on the Mr. Amazing giveaway. And yeah, man, it was really exciting to do that giveaway. And I'm really happy that you guys won them. Lucky dog, you, Bama. Now, there is one little issue with one of the giveaway knives. I'll talk about it later in another thing. We're not gonna make a big deal out of it here. Knives Fast says thank you for all the support. Definitely go and do that, guys. So I know you're probably excited to jump into this knife whenever you're ready. If you want to unbox, you haven't unboxed it yet?
No, sir.
No? You sure?
Yeah.
I would have been cutting that fucker open fast. All right. You can open it up whenever you're ready.
Alrighty. Ooh, I'm like shaking right now, man. Damn.
I bet. I'll grab my shoulder off just for good old times.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't own a Shiro yet.
Yeah, you got a couple seconds left. Just careful with the addresses in the camera.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Man, I should have packed you some McDonald's garbage in there or something. I told Lefty that because the last time he was complaining when I shipped him something, there was a bunch of as I threw bags in there just for stuffing. He's like, "What are you giving me all your garbage?"
Oh yeah,
Next
I saw
time
that.
I'm gonna give you some McDonald's garbage just because you said that.
Crap. Ooh. Damn.
That is nice.
Ooh. All right.
That's nice.
Holy crap.
So what's the most expensive knife you own right now that's in your collection? Or your most proudest knife, I should say. I don't want to say expensive, but
Well, started off with a little collection and kind of have just bought, sold, and traded my way up. Right now is expensive, and you're going to be getting this soon. I'm sending this your way. This is the Riot Jack 1.5 in Mokutai and M390.
Nice.
that's
That is really nice.
That's
That's an integral, right?
Yes, sir.
full dress. Damn. Everything kicks.
That is a sweet knife.
That's
really
beautiful.
like that one.
Holy cow. Where'd you
How's
get that
the
at?
local tie with fingerprints? Like, do you have to wipe it down every time you use it?
Yeah, I carry this a lot at work, so it gets a lot of fingerprints on it. But at the end of the day, I just hit it with some Windex and it clears right up.
Good.
So is that your size knife, like something like that?
Yeah,
because I was wondering, like with the Cheryl Groffs, this is the larger ones, So
Yeah.
I wasn't sure because a lot of people this would be a big knife for, but then other people like me, it's like this is a perfect size. So
I have pretty baby hands, but I do like big knives. That's my thing. Yeah.
That sounds so good too.
Oh, it almost feels like the detent is it's strong, but it doesn't feel super heavy. It just feels like it just comes out effortlessly.
Yeah, they got the multi-row bearing, so once that detent breaks, it really just basically takes over. And I don't know, because of the travel, sometimes they wind up losing the oil and stuff. You might want to throw a little drip of KPL or whatever knife lube you have on the detent.
Nice.
I know every time I get knives in the mail, especially coming from a hot area to a cold area, right now they're always without a doubt the detent ball is always dry, and I always have to, within like a few flicks, I can hear it starting to get a lot of drag on it. So.
Well, this one came buttery, man.
Nice.
Holy cow.
What's the weather there? I know you're in Hawaii.
Right now it's about 80 degrees.
Yeah.
And like 100% humidity.
That's nice.
No,
That
it's
is nice. John wants to know how much that that knife costs. I don't know if I think he's talking about the Mokatai one.
This one was about $1,000.
Okay.
I think they're $990 on Crane's Cutlery. I believe they have one left or
And
something like
the
that.
Shiro Goroff's right around that same price too.
Yeah. Whew, but this one is in a class of its own. Holy crap.
So how'd you feel when you seen your name pop up? I know that was crazy. Everybody watches a giveaway and they're always like, it ain't gonna be me. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
It'll never fucking be me.
Yeah. I was kind of funny actually. I was sitting on the toilet actually, and I was like, okay, let's see what Jared's got up. And I saw winners, and I was like, fuck it, I guess I'll watch it. And the door was closed, and all my girlfriend can hear coming from the bathroom is me screaming.
That's awesome.
And she thought something happened, I fell in or whatever.
Right.
But
Are you injured?
Yeah.
Yeah, with a lot of the giveaways, especially when they're to that level, a lot of people think like it's full of shit. You know, like they think either like you're not really giving it away, or whoever's gonna win is in on it. Like people think so many things. So that's why I did leave a comment to somebody. I don't remember who it was, if it was you or one of the other ones. I said, I bet you thought this was fake until you seen your name pop up.
Well, blew my mind. Absolutely.
So what other knives do you have in your collection that you carry?
I've been getting around so I usually carry at work my MBK pincher.
Nice.
That's kind of my one that I beat on the most and don't
Which
really.
steel is that one?
This is an M390.
M390.
So,
yeah,
just the basic one, but it's good.
Yeah, I had that one in the ZDP 189. That was really nice.
Yeah, how was sharpening that?
Oh man, I thought it was great. You know, it's definitely fucking hard. Like, I don't mean hard to sharpen. The steel feels really hard. You can feel like once it hits the diamonds, it feels like glass. But once you have the bevel set, it's nice. It just takes a little time to set that bevel because it's so hard. But burr removal was like a dream. Like
just knock right off.
The best you could imagine. Like that's how easy it was. It was like the most easiest burr removal I've probably ever done.
Wow. Yeah, I saw they had some slaybacks up there a couple days ago in the carbon fiber with that ZDP. I was tempted.
Yeah, no, that's some good shit. After sharpening, I've gotten a lot more appreciation. I already had appreciation for it, and now it's like it's on another level of appreciation. So it's how long you been into the community or into knives?
I got into it a little over a year ago. I want to say a year and a half. I paint commercial and residential houses.
Okay.
And I needed a tool for the job, so I got a bug out, and then it just spiraled into this.
So it starts.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a knife for a tool the first time.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I've always been in knives since I was a little kid, but I got back into the community with the Kershaw leak. But I had a few different collections before that. But then when I found the actual community, though, because I was just a collector, I never even knew there was a community. And then I had the Kershaw leak, and I don't know, I was like looking up videos or something, and that's where I found, the whole community. And I was like, holy shit, there's people out there that like knives too. Yeah,
it goes deep.
Thing.
So Bama wants to know, are you going to use it and carry it? Carry it and use it, I should say.
Oh yeah,
definitely. Nice. That's awesome. Good for you, man. Good for you. I'm really happy you won it. I'm happy it went to someone that was willing to do this too, because this is awesome. I'm glad you came on here to unbox it. A lot of people I know wouldn't do that, and I understand why people wouldn't. Like I wouldn't want to put people on the spot like that because I know like the risks of coming on. You have people messaging you trying to buy it and things like that. Like I already know. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't expect anybody to jump on that if they didn't want to.
Well,
Maurice
thank
got
you.
his first in 1982. Rainbow Leak was my first. I figured it was a rainbow one, John. So do you have any knives that I know you talked about that's the MBK just now, but is there any knives you're really looking at right now to purchase, meaning like on your list?
I kind of stopped collecting for a little bit, since a little bit before the holidays, just to kind of save some money. But one that was really catching my attention that I wanted to get was the I'm blanking. It's a front flipper.
Who makes it? What company? I might help you out.
Brown Knives.
Brown Knives.
Oh, the Cortex.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a fucking sweet one. That's
Yeah,
a really good one.
I've been eyeballing that. They just had a drop recently and sold out, and I had to practice that impulse control and not get it.
Yeah, we all got to practice that. What were you just holding, Ryan?
What I was holding?
Yeah, what were you just holding?
Still my Praxis.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's a good knife though, man. The Praxis is like what like people ask me like, hey, what knife would you recommend? It's just a good knife, good worker. The Praxis is like one of the best knives you can get. The geometry is amazing, the blade shape, size, action, just all around fantastic work knife. And like highly regarded work knife. Like I would recommend that to just about anybody who actually wants to just beat the shit out of a knife and work on it or work with it. That knife, it cuts so good. The ergos are so good.
It's fun to flip around too. It's underrated for that.
So underrated. And I think at one time it was like highly rated. Like everybody loved it, but then you know how they pump out knives. So then it's like
I still think they haven't topped the Praxis. Like the two best that they made were the Backlash and the Praxis, which they released at the same time.
It's hard to beat.
Made good knives since then, but they haven't topped those two.
That's hard to beat though. That knife is just the geometry, just shape, everything. It's such a good knife.
The texturing on the G10 is really good too.
Yeah, I had one sent to me, and people were raving about it, and then I got it in hand, and right away, like just looking at it, I could see everything about it was just amazing. You don't really understand how good a knife like that is until you get it in hand.
Yep.
I actually just got my brother one of those for Christmas. He's a farmer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he farms. Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's good. Yeah.
It's a good knife to start somebody off with. Maybe he'll join you down that rabbit hole.
Yep. Yeah. The Backlash is another one that's amazing. It's kind of like both of them are just so good.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that new Civivi button lock flipper and has a fuller in it?
The button lock.
Blanking on the name of it, but yeah, a lot of people are talking about it.
Yeah, it doesn't have a name yet, I don't think.
Oh yeah. I seen it at the SHOT Show. I didn't see it at SHOT Show. I've seen the videos from SHOT Show. Looks pretty dope. Yeah, I'm really excited about that new Malice, the button lock Malice. That thing looks so sweet.
Yes.
It's smaller though, I heard. I'm not sure how small they're gonna go, but the actual Malice is a good size knife. I mean, you can see the Shiro. This is the same size Shiro that you have now. And I mean, you can see, I mean, it's a good size knife. It's not as long as the Shiro, but it's far beefier. Beefier.
I might have to get a Malice. It was between the Malice or I think I was looking at the Deacon, but they discontinued the Deacon.
I know. That is such a good knife too. It's small. It's not a small knife, but it's smaller compared to the Malice. But that's a knife, man. They should have just kept around because I think there's certain knives that people like, but they just drop at the wrong time, I think.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people got it, but at the same time, when they did the Deacon, they had the Vapor, the
Bishop too, right?
What's that?
Was it the Deacon and the Bishop? I think they discontinued need both.
Right. And so they all dropped at like the same time with the Vapor, the Deacon, the Bishop. So if that knife would have just stuck around even longer, I think more people even like today would appreciate it even
Yeah,
more.
because I want to say that the Deacon was like with Benchmade, they have the 940, the Griptilian. It's like if they discontinued those two knives, it didn't make sense to me. It's
Right.
like their flagship model. Why would you that's I want to say your best knife that you make. I would have kept it going.
Right. Yeah, it was very well done. And now I'm looking at Wheat, and I think I still love what they're doing. I actually I told Seth the other day, I said, I want to talk to you, like the next week or so. And I'm planning on having a conversation with them about because they do great work. Don't get me wrong. And I don't want anybody to get this wrong what I'm about to say. But I think they're fucking up in some ways right now where they used to be so into the little details and people
Yep.
appreciated that. And now I think they only do those little details with OEM projects, but with their own in-house designs, they're kind of just letting them slide. Like they're not making milled clips. They're just doing basically a titanium clip, but it's just a regular spring, fold over clip or whatever, a deep carry budget clip, basically just out of titanium. They're they're not really doing any excessive milling. They're not doing inside pockets. There's little details that they're not hitting. Now, I'm not saying that it makes the knife bad because the knives are still amazing. It's just those little details are what you kind of appreciate, and you look at it and you're like, I got my money's worth, right? You feel that. And you always felt like, that they were just like a league of their own. And now there's so many companies and OEMs that are killing it. They're fucking killing it. And it seems like they're starting to get left behind just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit. And they're still number 2 in overseas manufacturing. In my opinion, they're still number 2. But damn it, if these other OEMs are not like on their tail, like it's going to be pretty quick if they don't step it up. One of these OEMs like Kaiser or Miguron is going to fucking pass them up. They're going to take their spot. And it's they're sharks. Everybody wants to be number 1 and number 2. Now we's held that spot for a long time because of those little fine details. But if they stop doing them, like of course they can do the OEM work really good, right? Like the Todd Knife and Tool ones, the Ferrum Forge knives, stuff like that. But that's kind of a dime a dozen because they only do so many models, right? So only so many people get them. In their in-house designs, they do more of. So more people have a bigger chance of getting their in-house designs than the OEM projects from, Todd Knife and Tool or whoever. Pandemic EDCs, but we seems a bit meh. And see, the community speaks for itself. I don't even have to say nothing.
Yeah.
The community will say it.
I think I have a theory on
favorite
Wheat.
knives
I
so
think
far
it's
from them. So surprised me to say that about them. Yeah, I love their knives. Trust me, I love their knives. That's why I want to see them, the best out of them. I don't want to drag them or anything. I just think if they did a little tiny
now,
thing.
like they're such a big name in the community that, like when they came up, they were underdogs, so they had something to prove. Something
They're
to prove.
hungry.
Whereas right now, it's like, oh, we're at like a place where we're comfortable, and so they're getting complacent because they're comfortable.
Yep. Yeah. And kind of like even Civivi, like we were just saying, like Todd just said, I think Kaiser and Kukri are killing and Civivi in the budget
Kaiser is
category.
really impressing me. Like last year was their year.
Yeah, for sure. And Kubi's not far behind, man. Kubi's detents are on point. And
Kubi
then
needs to
Kaiser's
get on, like,
action.
a major retailer though. Like I only find them on Amazon, and I think that's hurting them. Like they need to get on Blade HQ or White Mountain.
I think some companies are starting to get them now.
Smart.
For the Kubis. But yeah, I think that they're not far behind either. And all these companies like that, they're coming up fast. Like really fast, really good. Like look at what Kaiser's doing now. They're using better micarta than Civivi and we. Better. Far better. Like Kaiser's micarta, it makes Civivi's look like two sons. the micarta, it's garbage compared to Kaiser's. Kaiser's using USA made micarta, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's just one thing, right? That's just one thing. Now, when you start looking at other things like the detents in action, Kaiser's got their detent in action down pat. Like, and some of them are really good, but some of them seem like they have a little bit lighter detents. It's like, and that's why I think that they just need to, they have the ability. Obviously, they have the ability, but don't cut any corners, because right now is the worst time for them to cut corners because they have so many sharks on their ass. 2 years ago, they did make a big name. They need to keep that. They need to keep that focus.
I'm interested who MBK's OEM is, because they do some pretty crazy stuff.
They are.
Like Lindy and Richie, Knife Modders could probably spread that. If you next time they go on a live, hop on one of their lives, ask that question, they can give you a straight answer right there.
Yeah.
Here's a MBK though. MBK's doing a killer job. I was actually sleeping on MBK, and
I think a lot of us were.
Recently, man, I tried some of their models and they blew me away. Like, I could not believe how good they were. I was not expecting it, like shockingly good. I was like, holy cow, like why haven't I was almost pissed at myself because I was sleeping on them and I wasn't buying their models. And I got like 3 of them in a row, and not one of them disappointed. Like, all 3 of them were just like so good. Kind of like the one you have, the what the hell's the name of it?
The pincher.
The pincher. Yeah, the pincher. That thing is insanely good. That detent in action is stupid. Dean, thank you for the donation, Dean. I appreciate it, man. Shout out to Dean. Their clips look like artisans, but I don't know for sure. I'm not sure exactly what we're talking about. Art can full screen the guy's new knife. Wait, hold on a second. Neevesknives can full screen the guy's new knife quick. Yeah. What I'll do is I will you can pull up the knife really quick, and I'm gonna pull me and Ryan out really quick so you can show it off.
I'm good with that.
Here it is. With that carbon plate in purple. Purple backspacer. Purple pocket clip. A very fine stone wash on the M390 blade. This thing is perfectly centered and absolutely nuts.
Yeah, those things are so good. They're so well done, and it is the little details, kind of like we were just talking about. Like, they have a detent ball under the clip so it doesn't shift. They have the multi-row bearings. They have the little space back here for the landing zone right there. The way the lock bar, like when you look at it, it looks like it has very early lockup. But if you turn it a little bit sideways, you actually see how it actually angles a little bit more and is actually underneath the tang farther than it appears. So many little details. Now, another one that I really appreciate about them is this. Their detent is so early. Like, when you unlock it, it's past the detent. It's so early. I love that. Now, I don't know why that one model that they came out with recently, I can't think of the name of it, but it had a really late detent, and it just pissed me off because one of the things I love about Shuro is how early their detents usually are. And that one was like really bad late, like bad.
Was that the Quantum Ursus?
Yeah, the Quantum. Yes, the Quantum.
Yeah.
I love what Civivi's bringing, but I don't like that they keep sneaking up the prices. Hopefully they got the message, because the Lumi that dropped a few days ago is $50 and 14C steel, if not mistaken. Yeah, I hope they get the message too. Inflation is real, and we are dealing with it. I mean, we're seeing it right now. Look at what Benchmade's doing this year. I think that's insanity what they're doing this year. I don't even want to talk about it. But but yeah, I hope that they get the message too. Now, I don't think that they're necessarily too bad. Like, the 2 models I got, right? $200. No, the one was a little more than 200, like 225, and then $200. Both of them are great knives, good materials, great fit and finish, great action, great everything, great everything. But like I said, it's those little tiny details that matter. Like they could have put a milled pocket clip. They could have, they, excuse me, they could have just made the action on the one is not drop shutting. Now, I'm not saying you have to have drop shut action. I'm not saying that, but it's nice when you can get it in that style and that type of knife. And also their detents on mine are good, but they've been a little light, I guess. Some of their detents have been light, some of them have been strong. They need to be a little bit more consistent. Help with the inflation. Thanks, Richard. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. A little help for the inflation. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. D-Bass says, higher, why did that rumor start about churros being made in China? I think it's all BS, but why did that rumor even start? So the rumor started because of Custom Knife Factory and Custom Knife Factory and Riyadh. So Riyadh, the Custom Knife Factory, supposedly their knives, their parts are built in Riyadh shop. I don't know if this is true. This is just what I heard, that the parts are made in Riyadh shop and then they're shipped over to Custom Knife Factory, which is in Russia, right? So I think the rumor started from there. Then they started saying, because that's what Custom Knife Factory was doing, that's what the churros doing. I don't think it's true either. I think they honestly do them because Russia does some really good shit that I don't think, I honestly don't think that one's true. Now, like I said, the Custom Knife Factory, I don't know, probably, but it's hard to say. But churros, no, I don't think so. And when you talk to those guys and everything, I mean, they're pretty cool. I know I'm talking to some of the guys over there that make some of the knife sharpeners and everything. And in a lot of cases, you can probably request to see some of their work. They'll show you the shops and stuff. So if anybody's really that worried about it or really thinks that, just ask to see their shop. If they can't show you a picture of their shop, then yeah, it's probably being done overseas, because most knife companies don't have no problem showing you some scales they're working on or something. It's not that big of a deal. Like even Kaiser even did a shop tour, where they took a camera around their shop.
Their shop was massive.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. Yeah, they got a pretty big shop, and they're always trying to expand and get more CNC machines and everything. So, but yeah, it was clean too. It looked really good, and you could see like in that video, you could see where they do their quality control before it gets bagged up. It like showed everything. Seeing them spine whacking it.
Whoa.
That's my knife. Don't fucking spine whack my knife. Cue ball, thank you, brother. Satisfaction is just as awesome in person. Laugh out loud. Driving home now. Jared, sorry I'm so late. It's all good. Cue ball went and gave a knife to Satisfaction. He's about 45 minutes away from him, so he just went and met up with him. Shout out to Satisfaction and Cue ball. I'd rather have a Riyadh build stuff than almost anyone else. That's why it's really not that big of a, like, when you really think about it. And I'm talking about Custom Knife Factory, not churro, but Custom Knife Factory. It's not such a bad thing when you hear if Riyadh's doing it, because Riyadh is so damn good. Now, one reason why I don't think that, or that might not be true, is that Riyadh's detents are so good, and Custom Knife Factory's detents for the longest time were super light detents, like very, like too light. Now that could just be them tuning it, because like I said, the rumor was that Riyadh was doing the parts and they were building it, kind of like how Asher does right now. Right now, Asher, he has overseas make the parts. They ship all the parts in boxes, and he has to assemble them. He has to tune them. He has to do all that. So, I mean, and that's a lot of work. Alexander says they have videos of their shop in Russia. Lots of them, right? So, and that's what I mean. You can request too. Like, you can just ask them, hey man, you mind showing me some of your, or take a couple pictures of your shop or something like that. And most companies, if they're not bullshitting, because they want their reputation to be held.
Yep.
They don't want rumors out there about them. So they don't usually have too much of an issue. Thank you, Alexander. Maurice, I'm not a troll, man. I'm a super fly on the wall of justice in a Cambodian prison, but not in my mind because I'm a free man. Not you or anybody else. I'm on the moon anytime I want to be. Stinger. Ouch.
Okay.
Fucking Maurice, man. What's up, Tri-State? Shout out to Tri-State. I hope you guys are subscribed to his channel. Awesome channel.
So cool.
Awesome, dude. How old is Adam? You mean Asa? Probably. How old are you, Asa?
23.
23?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good
I
age.
hate my React made from Fanatic Edge Omen I got. Its detent is super strong, and the hook on the flipper tab is 100 times worse than a Hinder XM18. It sucks to flip. Yeah,
There's
Calico
Delica.
just got a knife, and he's a little disappointed, and it looks beautiful, man. I love the way it looks. So I you know, it sucks that you're not liking it, but man, it looks beautiful. It's a sexy ass knife. If you're that upset about it, you could probably sell it pretty quick because
Yep.
it's a damn good looking knife.
Yeah, that blade shape is super unique.
The PS shirt is sick.
PlayStation.
Thank you.
Oh, nice.
Video
Oh, yeah.
game. Video
Oh,
game.
yeah. No, I didn't miss it. Just in case. So thanks, Richard. No, I did get Richard. I remember Richard. Thank you though. All right. It's 6. Yeah, the colors are awesome too.
Alec, it's the one you just uploaded. It's like green and purple, right?
Yeah, that
Okay,
one.
I think I remember seeing the picture. I was like,
It's a damn good
Alec
looking knife.
loves those Ninja Turtle colors, the green and purple. Like he's
Well,
known
you
for
could say Joker. Why we gotta go to Turtles? I mean, I like the Turtles, but Maurice again. I don't want to kill you, Tri-State. I want to fly you to the moon so you can see what I see.
Oh, I'll take what he's having.
Right. I want to take you to the moon so you can breathe that sweet air up there. I don't want to kill you. I wasn't talking trash. Like I said, curious. You guys are crazy. Asa, man, I appreciate you coming and doing this with us, man. That was so awesome. And congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hopefully I see you around the community, and you know, hopefully you can jump in some more lives and hang out with us sometime.
Dude, enjoy
I'd love
that
to have
knife.
you.
Enjoy that Shirogorov.
Yeah,
Let us
enjoy it,
know.
man. Enjoy it. Let us see some cutting videos one of these days.
Hell yeah.
All right, brother. Take it easy,
Thank
man.
you.
Peace.
See you guys.
See you, Asa.
So, what do you got going? Or what do you got coming up here pretty soon? Do you have anything in mind of next purchases or anything?
Well, I missed out on Mojave Outdoors. They had the Kaiser Roach. I was going to get it in my cart, but they all sold out. So I'm waiting for them to get that restocked.
Yeah.
The P51 Mustang, what you just had with Casey on, that's one of the ones that's on my radar. And then the Volsteed knives.
I just recently got this fat carbon from Kaiser. They dropped these. They dropped 3 different knives in fat carbon. They got the mini bag lighter, the Feist, and then the mini sheepdog. I'm hoping that they wind up doing the full size sheepdog. That would be amazing. Yep. Just like their brown micarta that's similar to this micarta right here. I'm really hoping that they do a full size. They have a full size sheepdog in it, but not the non-flipper. I want to see the non-flipper in this micarta right here, because they have this micarta, but they only put it on the flipper version. Jared, looking for a new Grail knife. I want either a Medford or a Hoback, or any other suggestions. 500 to 800. I would go Medford before Hoback, to be honest. Especially if you can get the Slim MIDI or the Praetorian Slim, the manual version. But I would go with the Slim MIDI if I was you. The Slim MIDI is amazing. I don't think you'd be upset at that. The Hobacks, They're okay. They're good knives, but in my opinion, I think they're a little overpriced. And man, they are thick, super thick. The Slim Midi's nice and slim. It's a good EDC knife. Now, if you're wanting that heavy duty craziness, then yeah, Hoback or one of the other Medfords. But between $500 and $800. Oh, there's a Herman right now on
Herman knives.
yeah, Herman Knives. I think it's on I think it's GP Knives has one for 600, 650 or something like that. Maybe it's 700, but it is beautiful. Those knives are amazing. Fucking like they have the most amazing acoustics ever. They literally play a tune every time you open them. It's like it feels like when you open it, it seems like you strung a string on a guitar. It's crazy. It's hard to even understand without getting one in hand and flicking it. Kaiser's still have some of the Mojave Outdoors exclusives on their AliExpress site. Fuck Ali. Kaiser Cutlery, if you are willing to wait a month, I believe they still have the Roach also. Yeah, I don't mess around with Ali, man. Ali has been known to fake their knives. Even like some of the Tucson knives, I heard some of them are not legit. Like, I don't know, to be honest. I don't buy from Ali. I know a bunch of people that do, but almost always it's knockoffs. I don't know too many people that buy legit knives from Ali. So I don't trust them. Like, they literally have Tucsons on there for like $20. Like, crazy. Like,
I guess they won that bid real low. That's the only way that they
no, I think they actually are faking the knife. I think I don't know. I don't want to speak, out of pocket or nothing, but I've heard that they clone their knives or something. Like, they're not the legit Tucsons, they're clones. But I don't know. Maybe they are legit. I'm running this country. Excuse me. The world made me head of state. I let people do what he does. Don't blame me because my fault is in California. And when it splits, is it my glory or morning glory?
Or he's just having fun in the chat right now.
Oh, fuck. Man, the Slim Midi is the way to go. Slim Midi is fire. I don't think you could really get upset at getting a Slim Midi. The worst part about it is the lock bar access sucks, but it's not. You're not going to get too aggravated. You get used to it pretty quick. I forget. Can you use the blade stops as thumb studs on the Slim Midi? No, it's internal. So the blade, the stop pins, they're not internal. I guess they're external, but they do the same thing as internal studs like Tucsons. But no, you can't. I mean, you can, but I guess you can use them, but they don't feel good. The hole works great though as a thumb flick. The edge on the Slim Midi is sharp. You have no problem reverse flicking it or using the thumb. It's nice and comfortable. And it's on bearings. Medford doesn't have too many models on bearings. And if you're a lefty, it's super easy. Such a good knife. I love this knife. Hermans literally sing. Yes, they do. Gonna look now at the Herman. Yeah, do that. Do that for sure.
Is Talica going to sleep?
What's that?
You got a super chat from Talica.
Did I? Oh, I haven't seen it pop up yet. Hey, Asa did. Wait, just curious, what island do you live on? I know, but I don't want to say it. He's not in here no more, so I don't want to say it. Love you. Good night. Everyone is asleep in my house. All right, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you jumping in. I know you got the kids and stuff, so sweet dreams, brother. Ali stole. Oh shit. Todd says AliExpress stole my credit card info immediately after purchase, had $1,000 in fraud charges. Holy shit. That's crazy. Yeah, don't mess with AliExpress, guys. Stay away from AliExpress. Holy cow. They stole
eBay
the
is
same
more
credit.
trustworthy than that right now.
That's nuts. That's the first I've heard of that, but I don't doubt it. That's the thing. I don't doubt it, especially after few weeks ago, me and somebody else that's possibly in the chat right now were checking out some Tucson's on there. They were going for like $20 a pop. And they were like the really expensive ones and all kinds of stuff. And it was like almost too good to be true.
Did they have a TS230 on there?
They probably did. Probably. I don't remember that one, but they probably did.
Check
That's
it
when
out
you know.
then.
That's
That's
when you
the
know
next
it's full of
thing.
shit, right? Oh man. Yeah, I don't like Ollie either, but the Kaiser store is sent from the same address as Kaiser's website, and by the model they have, they are one of the few that are legit. Yeah, I don't doubt that they don't have some legit sites on there. You know, I just don't trust half of them. But yeah, I guess if you're seeing that it's from the same address and it's just right from Kaiser. But check their eBay store. Check all their Mojave sites because they have the 3 Mojave sites, and then Kaiser has its own sites too. So you technically have 4 sites to choose from, aside from like Blade HQ, White Mountain Knives, and all those places. But don't forget to get your 10% off if you're using Mojave Outdoors. So Neevesknives discount code. Only clone I buy is the fattest slash because it's a novelty joke. I don't even want a real one. Yeah, I got one of those. It's a it's a brick. It's badass. A Durban gave
It's
it
about
to
as
me,
thick as a kukri.
dude. It's thicker than the Kukri. That's crazy. It's the Kukri's a Kukri, so you expect it to be thick. It better be a little thick, you know. But when a folding knife is thicker than that, that's crazy. Just checked. They got 9 of the gray roaches left and 11 of the natural micartas. I'm all about the hole. All about that hole. Yeah, the Herman knives don't have the holes, but the Slim Mini's got the fuller. Jared has the most beautiful Medford ever made. Yes, I do. I do indeed. And she's been loved. She's been loved a lot. And she's still in like perfect condition. That is one thing you could say about Medfords. They age well. They're just, they are built to last. They really are. Now, I know if I scratch the hell out of it, it's titanium and I can always just send it. That's why I don't really worry about when I have titanium frame lock knives. I don't really worry about fucking them up because I can always send them in to get reblasted, refinished, re-anoded, whatever I
Why you
want.
like titanium so much? Like I
Yeah.
always know you for titanium and micarta. Those are your
Yeah.
2
That's my fave.
preferences.
Well, with my Carta, I mean, you can refinish it. You can sand it down, you refinish it, you can polish it, you can do whatever. But titanium, I mean, it doesn't matter if you scratch it, you can get it refinished, you can get it re-anoded, you can do whatever. It's not that big of a deal. So people worry so much about taking their expensive knife and using it. I wouldn't, because what you can get if you get, let's say if you spend a year using your knife and it gets all scratched up, right? You got a full year of loving on your $500 knife.
It gives
Then
a
you can go ahead
personality.
and spend 60
Make it yours.
bucks, 60, 80 bucks and get it refinished. And if you want something crazy done to it, yeah, it's probably going to cost you $100 or something, but just for, a re-ano job or reblasting or something like that, it's not going to be expensive at all. And
Yeah.
technically Medford will do it. I see Ed Durbin.
There's the fatty
10
slash.
bones to see the fatty slash. All right, let's do it. Never too far away from the fatty. I love this. Watch when this thing comes out, guys. Oh, bam! Look at that blade. Holy shit. Look at that. Let me show you guys something.
I think you could baton a tree down with that thing. It's that thick.
Right? This is a USMC fighter flipper. This is a Medford. So this is a big dog. Look at that blade stock difference.
It's like twice as thick.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, it's so thick. I know it's trying to look at me. It is crazy thick. The fattest slash. Oh, let me back it up. And it's a straight guillotine. I mean, it'll cut your damn finger off if it gets you.
Maurice, you're the first person to tell me that.
And then check this out. It's so thick. This is the back of it. You can just whoosh, rub your finger right down the edge. Literally, I'm touching the whole entire edge right now because it's so thick. You can just put your finger right through it.
Yeah. Doesn't matter how deep they inset it. You can just reach in and grab it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's crazy, but it's badass. So, but like Shane said, you know, it's kind of just a novelty knife that is useful, though. I'm not saying you can't use it. Of course, you can use it. It's just it's thick. Like, you know, it's got literally the exact opposite of good geometry.
Yeah.
It's got the stupid geometry, but that's the fun of it. You know, PMP just did the knife. What the hell is it called? The big something thick boy. I don't know, something weird, but something that sounds big. And it was on Jim Skelton's channel, and that thing is 3/8. No, it's bigger. I forget. It's super thick. It's like this, but it's a really well made folder. Like it's kind of like React quality, but just ridiculously thick. I mean, it's probably as thick as this. You know, it has to be. It's so thick. So it's just on another level of ridiculous, kind of like this. But that one's like $400 though, so a lot different. Maurice has got to find his cock ring. He'll be back in a minute. You got to keep those things around, man. You can't be losing them. Don't want to be caught losing your cock ring. It might shrivel back up on you. Logical has Betty David eyes. Bet you that's the first time he's heard that.
Yep, that's what I was saying earlier. Only person who told me that.
You don't hear that every weekend. Dennis, thank you, man. 20 bones. Thank you for the 20 bones. Sure wished I could find my Carta scales for my shaman. RC Blade Works. Try that. Try RC Blade Works. Try I mean, Flytanium gets them. I don't know if they have any in stock, but you can check Flytanium, RC Blade Works, and then Sharp Dress Knives. Sharp Dress Knives. Try them too. That's another good one. And those are the only two I can think of right off the bat. That's the Alpha Beast. Todd says, and anyone else interested, Granger has the Veneve Greater Dog Stones back in stock. Did you guys hear that? The Greater Dogs are back in stock. Yeah, Carbonized maybe. I'm not sure about them because he's been working on some other knives. And also, guys, don't forget, we have those titanium and aluminum 80 20.5 scales coming soon. So keep your eyes open for that when they come on this channel. The aluminum ones are coming first, which are very similar to the titanium ones. They're probably just going to be more affordable, but they look identical. They're going to have crazy milling on them, frag patterns, circles, octagons, all different kinds of shapes. It's going to be badass. So let's what is it? Almost 9:30. All right, so we're going to talk about a couple things because as of recent, something happened the other day. I want to talk about it. Let me just take a little sip, which I think it's kind of funny. But so the other day, well, I should say a couple lives ago or last live maybe, I was telling a story and somebody watched the live. Now, I don't think this is actually what happened. I think that they're friends with somebody who doesn't like me in the community. I have been getting, some videos made about me and this and that. Anyway, so I'm not going to put them together, but I don't doubt anything. This guy pins or posts my record, my fucking criminal record in the chat. And yeah, he had to have paid for it because there's no way you're getting all of that without paying for it. So this guy literally
must have a real big hate boner for you if he paid money.
That's my point. That's my point. So he And it's not like it's, you know, it was mostly traffic stuff, you know, and a couple, you know, felonies and stuff. It really wasn't even everything. But it was a lot of stuff. Now, nobody will ever find everything because, like, juvenile record, you can't get that. Everything I've ever had dropped, you're not going to get that, which is a long list in itself because, you know, I've had a lot of fights in court. So I beat a lot of cases, but it's still a pretty hefty list. Anybody who looks at it's going to look at it like, holy shit, right? Even though it's really not that bad if you really read everything. But anyways, I guess there's a couple really bad things in there. But but he puts it in the chat, and he makes it sound like because of the story I was telling, like that I deserved it or something. And it's like you completely like misunderstood the subject. And then he like it was as if he was trying to like out me. And it's like, listen, guy, I've told everybody that I have a fucking record. Like, it's no surprise. You know, I've literally told everybody that yes, I have a record. So, you know, and I've always said that this is why I always said it too, because one day somebody's gonna look my shit up and they're gonna wind up trying to throw it in my face. And he so he does that, and then he continues to argue. Like, I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but just the point was that it's like he was trying to do like an I gotcha moment. And it's like, yeah. And then he tried to say, you know, like, don't act like a victim or something like that. Like, as if I was saying I was a victim. It's like, I've never said that I was a victim one. But I thought it was just hilarious. And then he went into another live and did it again. Or another live video that I posted in the chat. He did it again. So yeah, I guess he has a little bit of a hard on for me, but yeah, it's just funny. But what I was trying to say though is because when he was trying to say that I deserved it, right? Because I had a record, so I deserved what the story I was telling in the live was how you know, like that the cop didn't have no right to search me and this and that. And he basically was saying like that
He was saying the cop did have a right
I
to
know.
how long it was.
Well, right. He's right. Basically saying like, because since I have a record like that, he said like something like, oh, you've been a bad boy or something like that. Jared's been a bad boy. But the point is that doesn't give you a right. Doesn't matter if I have a record or not. And he doesn't understand that was before I ever had a felony when this happened. So at the time, all I had was traffic violations and some misdemeanors and things like that. But the point is it doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter. That's not how the law works. You don't get to violate somebody's human rights because they have a record. And the fucking judge in the court deemed it that way too. That's why it got thrown out of court. That was the story. The story was that the judge agreed with me and I beat the case out of court. You know, it's like, just because you think because somebody has a record that like that cops, that's like saying because you're speeding that I can now rip you out of the car and handcuff you and search you and do all these things because you are speeding. That's a traffic violation. It's not a crime.
Yep.
Like, you have to understand how the law works. Speeding is not a crime. That is a traffic violation. Like, the only way they can ask you to get out of the car is if they feel like their life is at risk or threatened. In that case, then they can ask you. But that has nothing to do with searching you. Chuck it. Thank you for the donation. We all know you're a smooth criminal. I appreciate the donation. But no, it was just weird that like he felt that he should post that shit. I think he wound up taking it down. I didn't take it down. So just so you guys know, I didn't take it down. I think he did because people were arguing with him in the chat. I don't know if that's why or not, or if he just felt stupid afterwards. Maybe he got sober. I don't know. But
I mean, you insulated yourself pretty well from it because I've been watching you for like 2 years now, and you've always been like very forthcoming with what you did.
yeah,
And, like your life since then, like this whole knife channel, it's almost like a redemption arc for you. Like you're
I
trying
appreciate
to
that.
better.
It is, and I really appreciate that because it is. I've definitely turned a new leaf. I'm a completely different person, and I've never asked for sympathy. I've said I've done evil things. I've been a fucking bad guy. I don't want, like, I don't try to sugarcoat it at all. I definitely did bad shit, and I'm trying to pay back, what I can and be a good person. And I don't try to make it seem like I was better than I was or any excuses. I have no excuses. I was a piece of shit. And that's just the way it is. But now all I can do now is just be a good person and do the best I can for the rest of my life. And that's what I'm trying to do. So like I'm not, trying to say that that I didn't do anything or like that I was a good guy or like I said, I'm not trying to make excuses or anything. I was a piece of shit. I did horrible, horrible fucking things. But now I've paid my due to society, and now like I have basically the rest of my life to do good things and to not be that type of person. I don't want to be that type of shithead. I want to be a winner and be around winners and conquer as many things as possible. And the community has opened up a door for that. Like I love this community, and it allows me to completely be somebody else and to basically just open up different doors and not go down that road no more. Jealousy kills far more men than cancer. Joe Kennedy Sr. Thank you, Maurice. I appreciate the donation, man. That is facts. We are good people, especially Jared. Thank you for you do for us. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know. I think the guy thought he had an I gotcha moment. I think that's what it was. I think the guy like just thought like that he was gonna throw something in my face or something. And I honestly thought it was funny, like because it was like, okay, like I've never hit that shit. It's not like I've ever. What's that? I'm sorry.
He spent money trying to sabotage you, and
He
then
had to have.
the whole
You don't
chat
get
was
that,
like, "What the
you don't
fuck are
get
you
that shit for free.
doing?"
Yeah, no, you don't get that shit for free. There's no way he went and just got it. You, unless if you are, I guess, in law enforcement or something, maybe then. But a regular person, you're
I
gonna
don't think
even
that
if it's
guy's
a
in law
dollar, right?
enforcement.
Even if it's only
If
a dollar, you
you
paid
think
for
it
it.
is, I don't think he's in law enforcement.
No,
Like,
no, I don't think so either. Changed when it went one step too far, and I'm not what I was. Right, exactly. That's the way I feel too. Like I definitely went way too far, and now I'm glad I'm not that person anymore, and I'm happy where I'm at, and I only want to grow and be successful from here. So exactly, everyone has done some stupid shit in the past. It's all about what you're doing now. So
Yeah.
true, Anthony. That's so true. And you don't want to paint somebody from their past, paint them, with that entire brush and say that's who they are. I'm not saying you can't if they're still being a shithead, but if somebody's showing a good track record, I think it's good to give them
Yeah.
the chance to redeem themselves. Right? It's kind of like if somebody is what they did one time, then how can they ever redeem themselves, right? Like if you're going to be that guy forever, no matter what, then why wouldn't you just continue being that guy? If nobody can ever see you as anything else, then why the fuck wouldn't you just stay being that guy? And I agree though, that it's on you to prove that, right? It's on nobody else to see that. Everybody's good. Like, it's kind of like, when I first started trying to get a job, nobody was gonna fucking hire, a fresh felon, right? It wasn't like just because I was a felon, it's because I was a fresh felon. So nobody's gonna hire me, and I did wind up getting hired after a while, but a really shitty job. But the point is that it's on you to prove that you're going to stay out of trouble. It's on me to prove that I'm going to keep my nose clean. It's on me to prove all that. No fucking job has to give me a job when I'm, of course they're not going to, right? Like that's common sense. Nobody wants a felon, especially with the type of charges I had working in their facility. And I don't blame them. I'm not proud of my past, but I wouldn't change it. It is what made me who I am today. Glad you straightened yourself out instead of tossing the salad. Thanks, Todd. You fuck. Instead of tossing the salad. My brother is a hero and has a nasty past and an encyclopedia for a rap sheet. Best man I know now. What I meant to stop being a shithead. Yeah. Anyone that has been around for a few story times knows you were in the joint. I've never felt like you were trying to hide it. Yeah, I never have, because it's it is public record. Even if you have to pay $1 or $10 or whatever to see it, it's still public record. And in some cases, I don't know if you have to pay for it to get like the worst part of it, right? But like to get the entire sheet, yeah, you have to pay for that shit. Extensive background checks are always, but like that would be like just Illinois. It's kind of like when I looked at it, like I have things in other states that's not on there. So anyways, not only have you told us about the bad stuff you did, you made those past adventures topics for story time. It doesn't change how or my view of you. Thank you. I appreciate that because I do try to pull a little humor out of it. I do because when you're like, I feel like I'm so separated from it that now I can look back and laugh. Right at
Yeah.
the time, those things weren't funny. I mean, I might have laughed with my friends about some of the things, but it's not entertaining to anybody if you're still in it because it's a sick mindset. And to be in a sick mindset, that's not a funny thing. But when you're past it and you look back, you can enjoy the stories for what they are and realize how stupid you were and how stupid of a situation you were in. And it just is what it is. But anyways, let's get into a little bit more knife talk before we end this because I know it's getting late. How many knives do you have in your collection right now?
I got them all right here, so I'm just gonna count them.
Yeah, let's count them up.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think 16 right now. Or do we count kukris and fixed blades or no?
Fuck yeah, we count those.
All right. Then I got 21.
21. What I feel an affinity for your stories. You only raise how fucked up your past is when you laugh, but others look shocked. Yeah, right. You're right. That's true. What kukris do you have right now?
I'll just grab a few of them out.
Yeah.
So I have 3 from Tora Blades and then 1 from Himalayan Imports. And I want to say those are the best companies to buy from. There are companies that also make kukris like Kailash Blades. Like when I got you that one, I never bought from them, but they do semi-custom kukris. That's what I liked about them.
What does semi-custom mean when you're talking about a kukri?
So you can change the length of the blade, you can change the handle material, you can change the sheath that comes with it.
Okay.
You can change the finish on the blade. So like that's a semi-custom. Like whereas like if it was a full custom, you could change a lot more about it.
Gotcha. Let's tear out the handle.
And the one Jared has is the
Tora.
British service issue. Like that's the one that the Gurkhas would actually carry in their sheath.
Yeah.
Like that's the standard issue.
Well, let me wipe it down. I don't want the fingerprints in the screen.
So this is the Indian Mutiny one. This is the one.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Chinchilla. So it's got 3 fullers. So that's the 1, the 2, the 3.
Hell yeah.
This is probably like the nicest looking one. And then it has like, let's see if I can get that close. It has like the fleur de lis here in the county.
Yeah.
This is probably my nicest one.
How much did that one cost?
$235.
That's not too bad.
Like you can get real cheap deals on kukris, and like this is the Carta. Like what I like about Tora is like you can get the buffalo horn that has like different texture.
Dude, that horn is beautiful right there. Mine's one solid color. But I mean, I guess there is a couple hues like in the backside a little bit right here, but it's mostly solid. But it's beautiful though.
Like the thing with the BSI is, well, when I got it for you, like that was their cheapest model. So usually if they have like anything with like really nice buffalo horn, they usually put it towards the premium models, which is what that one is. This one is my latest one. This is the camping kukri. It's more of like a plain one. I plan on actually using this one, but it's the one that has the wooden handle.
Okay.
So it's ironwood, I think it is.
Ironwood is really hard wood though. This
It's
stuff is
great.
super hard. I milled some one time, and man, dude, it took me so long. I did it by hand. That shit is very hard wood. That's why it's called ironwood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit's like
The only
iron.
thing you have to do about this one, because it's wood, you have to when you get it, just rub it down with some kind of oil, wipe off the oil, and then put linseed oil on it to like seal in. Because they're made in Nepal, and Nepal is like a very like dry mountainous climate. When it comes to America, it's usually a lot more humidity. Like I'm in New York, which isn't too much of a difference. But if you're from Alabama or Louisiana or anywhere down south or Hawaii, like you want to put linseed oil on it right away. But I got those two. This is my last. This was my first. No, this is the other company. This is Himalayan Imports. This is the one that I sent you first. This is the one that's all beat up. I can't hear you, Jared. I think you might have muted yourself.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Now
Yeah,
you're good.
sorry. Yeah, I touched the mic and it muted. Sorry.
But yeah, this was the first one that I sent you.
Yeah,
So what I like
the
about
handle looks big.
Yep. The
Yeah.
Himalayan Imports does full tang. So you can see the tang running down the spine of this.
Okay.
Whereas
These
for
are
a
stick
blade,
tangs.
yeah, Torah blades, they do stick tang, so you won't see it there. Like the tang is like hidden. I want to say it stops like right around here. And
Do
then
you
they like,
think there's a huge difference in strength? Probably just a little bit.
it's thick enough to where I don't think it really matters. Like if you're really concerned about it, yeah, I'd go with Himalayan Imports, but the big difference is like the weight. Like because
Right. Right.
the handle's so light on the Torah, whereas here, like a lot more of the weight is back, so it doesn't want to fall as quick. Like that feels way more nimble in the hand.
Spanky!
What's up,
Thank you
Spanky?
for the donation. Ryan with the Kukri knowledge coming in hot. Good to see you, gents. Do something kind for somebody. Knife rights matter. Thank you, Spanky. I appreciate it, man. So, which one's your favorite?
My favorite's the one I'm about to grab next.
Ooh, save the favorite for last. Best for last.
And this was the first one that I got from Torah. So this was my second ever Kukri. But this is the Havildar.
Oh, damn.
So they got some nice designs up here.
Are those through and through, or are those just milled into the steel? Those are just milled into the steel, right? They're not through and through, right?
No, they're like hand etched. Like there's a guy who takes it's like a chisel and then he like takes a hammer and like etches a design into it. It's all handmade. Like it's
Damn. Can you
there's
get it up
videos
by the
on
camera so I can see it? Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
and they're almost always mirror polished.
Yeah, that's nice. What handle's on that one?
Buffalo horn.
Okay.
It's got buffalo horn and then brass accents.
What's the length on that one? Do you know? I think
Not
this
off
one
the
was
top of my
11 and a half.
Yeah, not off the top of my head. Like the one thing I do know is like they also do a length from here. They call it the belly. So they'll
Okay.
measure the belly, and I know that the belly is really thick for this one.
Okay. Would have you ever gotten any small, like the short ones, like this big, like those skinny thin ones that are kind of just like branches?
The pate. Yeah, that's what they call them.
I
They're
always
like
thought those looked so cool.
I want to get one. They have so there's two cereal pates that I'm looking at for Torah. One of them is called a tamang, which
Okay.
is like tamang is Nepalese for horse merchant, I think. And then there was like a chora, Chaura. Like those were the. I'll link them in the chat if I
The
can.
best that would be the F95 with the F series that are tied. That's the F95. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I'm gonna link some stuff in the chat. So
Yeah,
this was
yeah.
one-
Do that.
This was the one that I was most looking forward to getting next. That's the Tamang. And then this was the other one I was considering, but that would be like a Ciro Pate version.
And you said that means what?
Horse Merchant is
Horse
Tamang.
merchant. You know, I think I'm not positive, but we could pull some pictures up. Let me go like this. Give me a site. Let me
Do you like the pictures of the kukris that I'm sending in the chat or something else?
yeah, you can do those. I'll bring them up on the screen. What was the one from the chat?
So the first one in the chat is the Tamang, and then the other one was the Chora.
How do you spell it?
Tamang.
Tamang.
So are you going on Tora's website and doing it that way?
I just typed in Tamang Kukri.
Oh, you're going through Google. Okay.
Yeah, will that work?
I would type in Tora first.
Torah? Okay.
Yeah, Tora Kukri, see what pops up. Yeah, so they have the KTM Gorkali coming up first.
Okay, so I'm going to share this. You can tell me if this is it. How does that look?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it?
And then the man in the picture, that's Simon Hengel. Like on one of the other pictures down there, he's the owner of Tora.
Is he?
That's the man.
Oh, wow. Look at this handle on this one.
But
They do some great work. I wonder if I can go like this. Yeah. Yeah, I like some of these like thin ones like this. They look so badass. And then I've seen some of the ones that are kind of like the size of a fixed blade, just like a regular 5 inch. Nah, maybe not 5 inches, maybe like 9 inches, but they're so slim. They look badass to me. They look like they'd be great limb choppers.
I want to say that the Ciro Pate ones are the ones that they use for the martial arts.
That makes sense. For martial arts, because they're so much lighter and slimmer and thinner.
Yep.
This one looks pretty the KTM.
Yeah, KTM. So they recently revamped the online store. KTM stands for Kathmandu because they had two shops. Kathmandu was the main one, and then because they changed it, I can't remember what the other one was. Like what it was 3 letters. It was just based on like where it was made.
Here they are fighting right here.
Yep, he does like fighting drills with some of his war buddies.
That's
I
awesome.
He served in the SAS, but don't quote me on that.
Was he a Gurkha?
I don't think so. Like I would love to ask him, but he's
Maybe
like,
just lineage or something.
yeah, I'd love to like get some of his background story.
I don't know if you know this or not, are the knife makers Gurkhas, or does the Gurkhas have knife makers just make them the knives?
No, so the people who make the knives are called Kami, Kami.
Yeah, okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah.
So it's the Kamis make the actual kukri itself, but there's a different person who makes the sheath.
What was the other one that you named?
The Chora, Chaura. They're both wooden handles.
CH what?
Chaura, Chora.
If it come up, comes up images. Pretty much the same thing.
Don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that's it.
No.
Yeah, I'm seeing
Oh shit.
that might be it with the wooden handle above Simon. Not
Okay.
that one. The other one.
Damn it, it keeps jumping. This one right here. Oh no, the little picture. I seen what you're seeing. This one, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that one's it.
Yeah, this one down here looks shorter. That looks pretty cool right here. This one.
That I think is a different company though.
Right, right.
Like you can look at the sheath, like that's
Oh,
more of like a not budget, but it's probably a cheaper model that you can get. That's
right.
probably either KHHI or X Gurkha.
Yeah, it didn't look like it was going to be 12 inches, but it's saying it's 12 inches. Now, is this fucking shit? I did not mean to do that.
Oh,
No.
stainless steel. Oh, I hope nobody buys that.
Is that's bone right there, right? Or
Yeah, they use different materials. I don't like buffalo horn is technically bone, but I don't know what bone that is.
it's probably just cow bone. Like when I went to some islands and stuff, that's they did everything out of cow bone. I bought a whole bunch of stuff on bone, and when I was coming back, you know, you can't have certain things when you're going through customs and everything. I had an entire suitcase full of things made out of bone. Can you imagine what it looked like going through the X-ray? It looked like I had a fucking body in there for sure. Like, think about it. Of course, it looked like I had a chopped up body in there. But there was like these pictures. They had like these picture frames, and the entire frame was made out of cow teeth, shit like that. But I thought it was cool. Like, you know, a picture frame made out of teeth. That's badass to me.
Like you bring it here and like that's a good story starter if somebody walks in the house.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's like-
then look at it. Is that teeth? Well, yes, it is. I don't even want to know. But no, just all the little things like even like handles that are made out of bone. I used to have some ivory back in the day. I actually still have some ivory pieces. I had them in a box at my mom's house, and they're vintage though, so like they're legal antique or legal ivory. But yeah, it's just like a time where like I was really into like bone and different types of woods and just basically natural materials. I really was into it. I loved it. There's just something about natural materials that I like. Jim with the cracker. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. I would go live with these.
On the topic of natural
One of these
materials.
days, Maurice. One of these days, brother.
I'd love to have Maurice come on
Me
here.
too. Me too. It'd be a good time. It'd be an interesting
I
one.
think he does really good with natural materials. Like that wood that he uses, the koa wood,
Yeah.
that looks impressive. Like that's
I
like
know.
tiger striping.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
And depending on the finish, you know, you do on it, like with a lot of natural materials, depending on the finish, man, it's a completely different. It seems like a completely different material. Like when he polishes it in certain lights, like when you angle it, it looks like tiger stripe. Then when you face it towards you, it just looks like plain wood. It's weird how it plays with the light. When you move it back and forth like this, it almost looks like it's waving.
Yeah, it's like an optical illusion. Like it's
Yeah.
a real eye-catching, just like natural materials. I want to say that's one of the most impressive ones I've seen.
They say that because I asked him like, why don't you see that stuff more often? And I guess, well, one, it's really expensive, but also it's like highly regarded, I think, in Hawaii, so they're pretty frugal with it. That's probably why it's so expensive too.
And it also only grows on Hawaii, if I remember. So
Yeah,
it's
at
probably
least
really
that kind of koa, because I think there might be different kinds of koa, but that kind only grows, you know, in Hawaii, which makes it even more badass.
Yep.
Maurice is one of these days heading to Pluto, but I wouldn't hold your breath on that one, Maurice. At least not for too long. You might be giving up on that one soon. I would shoot for Mars first. You might get a better shot with that one. Pluto seems like it might be a pretty hefty trip. And elk's hind teeth are ivory My sons and I collect the ivories whenever we down an elk. That's awesome. Hell yeah. That's badass. I remember back in the day when I was a kid, my dad gave me, I don't fucking know where he got the shit from, but he gave me like 30 turtle shells, big ones, like giants. And I had so many turtle shells, like from this size all the way up to like this size. I had so many of them. I was out in the backyard shooting them and just doing all kinds of shit. Thinking about it now, man, those things
Mario
are
Kart in the backyard with
right. Yeah. I was doing stupid shit with these things. But it's like, what was I supposed to do with them? I was a kid, first of all. But
Yeah.
I can imagine how much those things probably would have been worth in reality because they were like really good quality, just turtle shells, you know. But you could paint them, you can make art out of them. But nope, I'm back in the backyard shooting them. The fuck? Doing all kinds of stupid stuff with them, though. Yeah, playing Mario Kart with them. Are they bone? I've got wait, damn it. I've got a Koa scaled riffle coming from Hawaii Knifing Gear eventually. He's a perfectionist, so you can't rush him. Facts. Yeah, you don't want to rush somebody who's doing something by hand. Let them do their work. Give them
Yeah.
time and don't make them feel rushed either. Like let them know, hey, do your best, man. Take as long as it takes because especially if you know they're honest and good with it. But because that way they don't feel stressed, they're not going to rush nothing. They're going to be a perfectionist. Allow the person to be a perfectionist.
That's what happens with like the Kukris a lot is like you pre-order them and then it takes them a while to make because it's all done by hand. So it takes it minimum a month to make it.
Right.
And people are like, "Oh, where's my Kukri? Like I haven't gotten it. It's been like 5 weeks." It's like just be patient.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody in the chat wants one, if you order one, be patient. It's coming
Yeah,
to you.
be patient. Well, right, like you said, one, look how far away it is. They're doing them by hand. You know, let them do their work. You know, you're gonna get it. That's the thing. You're gonna get it. I think some people when they order things from across seas, especially from like places, I'm not gonna say places, but countries, you know, they get worried thinking like, man, are these guys just gonna take my money or something like that? But it's like that's
Like,
not the
oh, I
case.
paid $500 to that African prince. I wonder if he's going to send me that $2 million.
What's up, bees?
Hey, what's up, bees?
They also use real turtle shell on knife handles. That's what I mean. I can
I've never
imagine
seen that.
how much money, like, I'm not just exaggerating when I say 30. It might have been like 25 or something, but it was a lot. Like there were so many of them. And I can only imagine how much money some of those would have been worth because of all the things you can do with turtle shells. I've seen some really cool art with turtle shells. Andrew, wait, I'll be back. Skeletor and Lex Luthor are outside. They're trying to kill me. All I want is my peeps. Andrew won't touch a project unless he's in the zone, regardless of how long it takes. He's a damn artist. So that's it, and that's true. I've heard of grinders actually doing the same thing, and I've heard this like from a few grinders that they will not touch a knife if they're not in the zone. Like they'll think about it, and if they realize they're not in the zone, they won't touch it because the next day or 3 days later, 5 days later, they'll get in the zone and they can be masters with what they do. But if they're not in the zone, they already know they're going to fuck it up. It's kind of like sharpening too. I don't freehand a knife if I'm not in the zone. Like if I literally just don't feel like it and I'm just like, ugh, I don't fucking do it because I will mess it up and I don't want to do that. But then the next day I'll be craving it. You know, like I'll literally be like craving to sharpen. And it's like, man, I got to do something. And I'll just be thinking about it like, you got to sharpen something. That's what you got to do. You got to get on the bench. Maurice says, if I die, where'd it go? If I die, I will leave you my collection, Jared. Maurice, I'm honored. I'm honored, man. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, of course not, Bees. Of course not. Tinchenko, do you own any Shirogorovs? I really want one bad. I could only ever own one, so I want to buy the right one. I'm leaning towards the F3NS. Any suggestions? Do you guys know how to darken my Carta? Yeah, you can writ dye it. I have the red Kaiser October, but I want it slightly darker. Get writ dye. And if you only want it slightly darker red, get their red. But so what you want to do is you can dilute it with water. So you're going to use one bottle, right? Don't use the whole bottle. Use like a half a bottle in a pot of boiling water. Mix water in there, obviously, boil it. And then when you dip it in there, don't leave it for a long time. Keep pulling it out and looking at it, because you will go from it not doing anything to it black really quick. And I don't mean black, but you know what I mean? Very so dark that it's like it'll be like a dark cherry red or darker. I did gray one time and it wound up black because I left it in there like 2 minutes too long. So just keep checking it, and it'll and also wash it right after. Right when you get it out, wash it really good, because some of it'll bleed off, and then you can tell if you want to put it back or not. Shane says, I made a video when I wasn't feeling good and hated it, but with my level of talent, most can't tell.
That's common.
I've been there, man. I've been there. I've filmed like 5 videos in a row because I wasn't in the zone. Like I literally was just like done. Like I was depleted. I shouldn't have been filming. And I filmed like the video and it didn't go good. I didn't like it. So I refilmed it. Didn't like it. Refilmed it. Didn't like it. Then in the end, I'm just like, fuck this shit. I'm done. Like I'm done. I'm not filming. And I'll literally just stop and just go do something else. Like go sit down. I'll go lay the fuck down, because it's like, nope, I'm not doing it, because I just realized in that point, like I won't be able to do this. Like it doesn't matter how many times I record it. I'm just not in the mood. You know, and sometimes you do got to be in the mood. And I'm usually always in the mood. So if I'm not in the mood, well, then I damn sure shouldn't do it, regardless of what it is, because I'm always in the mood. F3NS or F95 is a good place to start. If you don't like it, you will get your money back in no time. Yeah, I like them both. I love the F3NS and F95s. Both of them are awesome. One here, I got them both right here.
Jared, how many knives are in your collection total?
Oh,
Like,
fuck, man. I'm about to do a knife sale, so probably.
I want to say 300 is my guess.
Oh, it's over 100. If I had to guess, probably 130, maybe.
That's lower than what I was expecting.
It might be more higher. I'm trying to not bullshit. It could be like 150. I'm not positive. I don't count them. The thing is that you feel like it's less until you count how many is just sitting next to you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, holy shit. Okay. It could be 200. I'm not positive. But I'm about to do my knife collection video. I'm probably going to do it in like 3 or 4 videos. And then I'm going to do a knife sale. The Patreons will have first dibs, and then it'll go out to the public. So here is the F95 Monkey Frag. Beautiful. I love frag pattern. Frag pattern is the shit. You can see the monkey edge frag pattern down there. It's got the little stamp. But yeah, this thing is stupid smooth. The detent is perfect.
I feel like Lefty EDC would approve of that false shot right there.
Yeah, I tried sending him my other one, and he didn't appreciate it enough, so I didn't send him this one.
He is a diva, though.
It's weird because this one's not as false shutty as this one, but when he got it, it didn't seem as drop shutty as it actually is. And I blamed it on, I figured like, man, like the temperature change or something, because like when I do it,
Canada.
like, yeah, Canada or something happened. But I mean, it's so smooth that I thought it was kind of weird that it wasn't like just dropping shut for him. But then I was thinking like, he's probably just sitting there and then just sitting there like this. expecting it to drop, right? It's like, well, give it a tiny bit of encouragement. This one, though, this one will just fall shut. So maybe I should, but I don't think he appreciates churros, though. So it's not really the knife, I think, for him, because he just doesn't appreciate them. So you got to send him. He's kind of weird because
Is he the lefty?
yeah, that's one part of it. I think that's just one part. But it's like some knives, it's funny because you will send him the knife that you think is going to be his style, right? Like, oh, he's got to love this. And he will find all kinds of ways to shit on it. But then you send him one that you think he's going to hate and he'll fucking love it. Like it's kind of weird. But hey, if you know what you like, you know what you like. But yeah, he's hard to get to like something. I guess I see things differently because I try to appreciate the knife as a tool first, and I look at those things, and then the action second. What he does is he says, how does it deploy and shut first, right? That's the main part. Like, how's the detent first? Like, you don't even look at the knife first, right? The knife don't even have nothing to do with it first. The first thing is, how strong is this detent, and will it snap open? Oh no, we lost them. Well, I guess it's a sign. We lost our partner. I don't know if he's gonna be able to jump back in or not. Should get right back. Well, we'll see. If not, it's no big deal, but we're about to end it anyways. It is getting late. But I'll finish what I was saying. Oh, here he is. Finish what I was saying about Lefty.
All right.
Well, he'll break that detent, but he doesn't just go like this. He doesn't just break the detent and give it a good thwack. He only breaks the detent. So if it doesn't fly open all the way by just breaking the detent, well, then he's like, oh, fuck that thing. So that's the first part, right? And he's not just pulling it down. He's only breaking the detent. Then after that, then he moves his finger out of the way and he wants it to just drop. And if it doesn't just guillotine drop, well, then now it's already a piece of shit. So if you don't get those two things, well, then nothing else matters. So to me, I guess I look at it as, okay, what type of blade shape, what type of geometry, does it have a good choil? How's the ergos? How's the access to the lock bar? Does it lock up? You know, things like that. And then it's like, how's the action? I'm obviously just being facetious and talking shit. I love Lefty. He's awesome. Hopefully you guys got in on these T1s. Did you see that they dropped the micarta T1s?
I did not.
Ryan, dude, fucking T1s in micarta. This is a budget version. So it's 154 CM. I already put an edge on this baby.
The T1 is like the Kaiser's probably. It's between the Gemini or the T1 is like their best EDC knife.
Right. And they made a micarta version of this bitch. And it's nice micarta too. It's the same micarta as the Roach.
Good.
It's really nice. Yeah, $70. The detent is just like the titanium model, which is crazy because this is a liner lock, but just as solid. Really good knife right here. But yeah, the Gemini, I got the little mini Gemini here. This is a good one too.
That's with the gold shred, right?
Yep,
Gold shred
20 CV too. These things are so smooth, man.
That's a good combo of materials right there.
Yep, and this thing is so smooth. It's crazy how like he like this. He got to check. I sent one in for the Knife Rights giveaway, and he got to check it out for a second. Lefty loved that.
Good.
I got the new Migaron Flex. This thing's pretty cool. What's your newest acquisition?
The Shaman. I actually have not bought a new knife in like 4 months, 5 months.
What Shaman did you got?
I just got the generic one. It was like the
Black
the
G10?
Black G10. Yeah.
That's S30V, right?
I think so.
Do you remember how much it was?
It was more than I wanted it to be. I know that.
Yeah, John. Good for you, John. Badass knife.
Oh, it doesn't say it on the box.
What are you doing, man? You could have saved yourself 10% off by using my discount code at Mojave Outdoors. You would have got it in like 2 days, bruh. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, Shaman's right here. This is a new, like it's, everybody talks like so good about the Shaman, and it's not that it's a bad knife, but it's not, it did not live up to the hype for me.
Okay. What didn't live up to the hype for you?
It's, so with the price point on it, I thought it would be like real impressive, but it's like, it's a good knife. It's just not a great knife. I expected like, at that price point, I expected it to be a great knife.
It's
But
definitely the prices went up too, though.
yeah,
You know, that's the thing. The prices went up. Now, I would say the thing that people really appreciate about it is that Spyderco has been so well known for like these EDC knives that are delicate. I'm not going to say they're delicate. They're not delicate, but their tips are delicate. They're more just EDC knives. They
Yeah.
didn't have any true hard use
this
hitters,
is a
right?
hard
That
use
were,
one.
and that is what that is. It's a hard use knife that's very comfortable in the hand. And it's just a good, solid overall knife.
I
Because
feel
of the
like it's meant for like really big hands because I wear a size medium. That's like a little too much hanging off the back for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a full size knife and it's thick. So you know, yeah, you can big hands will definitely fill it.
And
But
it's
being a
a
hard
little
use
bit
knife,
slicker. Like the handle material is like slicker than I was expecting too.
well, you can get, I don't know if you'd care, but you can get upgraded
Yeah, you can
scales.
change the handle.
And that changes everything about it too. Like
Because the micarta one you have is like that looked impressive, but it's like I already spent that much money on it, and then the handle scales are gonna cost me, I think it was like $80 more.
yeah,
And
60
then it's
to
like
80,
getting
yeah.
to like $350 price range.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely goes up for sure. But it does change the knife into another knife. Now the knife's geometry, having that pretty much a full flat grind makes it to where it's hard use, but it's a good cutter though.
Yeah,
Your ergos are so
it
good
works.
on it that you can pass it through materials. Now, one knife I really appreciate, and this is something I actually had written down because we didn't get to any of the topics I had written down. So let's talk about it really quick before we take off, because I think this is a cool topic. So
All right.
the topic is okay, with your knife action, okay, specifically about action, the way it deploys, the way it locks, the way you know it manipulates. Do you prefer being more involved or less involved? And what I mean by that is like with say a Spyderco PM2, right? You
Yeah,
spidey flick it,
it's like effortless.
right? There's no, you don't have that much involvement with the knife. You know, it falls shut, you flick it open. It falls shut, you flick it open. Now, like a Spyderco slish buoy, right? You can flick it, but now you have the lock bar. So now you depress the lock bar, the blade goes down, hit your nail, then you slowly drop it shut. You can slow roll it. You're just a lot more involved with
Yeah.
the knife in the action. Do you prefer being more involved with your knife's action or less involved, like button locks, access locks, compression locks, or or frame locks? I guess that's basically what I'm asking.
Oh,
Chris Reeve, you slow roll it, lock, and you hear that, you get to hear that sensation of that lock up. Then you have this big old cut out to the lock bar. And it's heavy too. You push that pressure, and then you grab it by the thumb stud and you slowly drop it down till it locks in. So you're a lot more involved in the action here. Which one do you prefer? Involvement or no involvement? Give me the less amount of involvement as possible.
see, I kind of like
Tough,
both.
right?
I like both,
Me too.
but I think I prefer the more involvement because you can.
I agree.
Because like more involvement is like you can have knives that like have a little bit more involvement or a lot more involvement. Like it's
Yeah.
more varying.
That's
Like
true.
it has more personality because of that. Whereas like when it's little involvement, like the lefty special where it's like
The
falls shut.
lefty special. Yeah, the
And then
lefty
someone-
special. That's a new term for it. Would you rather have the lefty special, or you want to be involved with your knife? No, I agree that your slip joints I'm not really talking about, because I guess that would be full maximum involvement, right?
Yeah,
I guess more or less I'm talking about just frame locks. Frame locks
it's
or button
so
locks, access locks, compression locks.
there's one like the chaparral. Like I love the knife to use it, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to open and close it. Like that's a little bit too much for it to be fun.
Right. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I'm not, but I sometimes though, I do appreciate a good backlock when you can punch it from the back and swing it shut, and then do you know what I mean? Like when
I
you
haven't
can get a
tried
back-
doing that yet.
do I have a backlock sitting here?
See, mine doesn't fall shut when I do that, which is probably for the best because this thing's so slicey, it'd like take off half my finger.
Yeah, I got a backlock somewhere, but yeah, there's some backlocks where you can just push it and slap it shut, and it'll fall shut to your nail right here.
Yeah,
And then you can close it. I kind of like that sometimes, especially when they're really smooth, like that steel wheel gecko I just tried. Holy shit, that thing was so smooth. Like, I mean, very, very smooth. This is another cool one. A lot of involvement here. You're very much involved with this one.
which one is that? That's a Spider
The
Co.
Brower.
Okay.
It's a titanium frame lock. It's really cool though. Nice big cutout to the lock bar. So you have
This
a lot
camera
of
you got
access.
that focuses and unfocuses a lot quicker.
I know, I love it, man. Like now it just went right to my face. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Everyday EDC, thank you for the donation. Bring it back. What's up? Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. But yeah, I really like the involvement, but I also like the less involvement too. But I think if I had a choice and you were like, you can only have one, I think I would take the involvement.
Yeah.
You know, if I only had the one. Now
Because
that
you
being
get
said,
bored if it's no involved, like very minimum involvement. Like it's more fun because you could say you could slow roll it or open it fast. Like it makes it more fun because of all the variety of ways you can open it. Whereas
yeah,
if
well,
it's
even like with this Shuro, where I can at least let it hit my nail and then move out of the way and watch it drop. You know, it's just a flipper, but there's still I can feel more involvement with this than with this, which I love a good Spidey flick. But with this, it's it's just I love this too. Don't get me wrong. I do love this, but I think there's just something to this winds up becoming not as fun after you've had the blast. If you know
yeah,
what I mean. Like it's so much fun when you first get it. So much fun. But then eventually it starts wearing off, and then you start really loving the feeling. Like with this, I can really feel the smoothness. I can feel the strength of the lock bar when I move it out of the way. I feel it hit my nail. And then I grab the spine and I close it. Now I can do it very fast if I want to. Like I can flick it, drop it, and slap it shut if I want to, but
yeah.
I don't have to.
It's almost like the comparison between wanting to do like an automatic on a car or a stick shift.
True, right?
Like the
I
stick
love a
shift
stick
is more
shift.
fun to drive until you have to go uphill, in which case you're like, God, I wish I had an
Or
automatic.
until you're in a rush hour traffic
Yeah,
in the middle of Chicago and you're doing stop and go for 2.5 hours. Fuck
that's
that.
why like I drive an automatic, but I also live in New York. Like I would hate stick shift if I had to
Yeah.
go through New York City.
I had like 5 or 6 stick shifts in a row. So I love to know. I love stick shift. I'm so gay, even the crack of dawn isn't safe. Well, bees.
Who is doing? Is that your wife? Like who is doing that?
It's bees, man. Somebody probably got his name just like they got mine the other day. Or it's the real deal. And this is just bees himself.
Nah,
Luckily, there isn't too much you could say here that'll fucking that'll get you canceled.
that's true.
We don't give two fucks. This big old goblin, though, man, I feel a lot. I like with this, there's so much involvement because you get the Spidey flick. Then the blade is so heavy, it does just drop. But there's so many forms of deployment in this hole. It's so I'm doing this left-handed right now. It's so easy to work left-handed. So this is
Yeah.
a great knife for lefties. But lefty, he got to try it out. I don't think he loved it that much. Just another one you would think that he would just love, but he didn't. I just sent him though the titanium frame locked sheepdog. So we'll see how he likes that. I think he's gonna like it. Watch, he's gonna shit all over it, but I think he's gonna like it. I hope so.
It's hard to pin down, I want to say, with what he likes it, because I think you sent him something that you thought he would hate, and he loved it. Like I forget what the knife was. It was almost like a year ago, but yeah, he's almost like a challenge to see if your knife submission can get the lefty approval.
Yeah, I think people want that sometimes. They want to see, like, will he like it? The thing is, though, is that if he doesn't, I think this is the problem, is that if he doesn't, it doesn't really say that much.
Yeah.
Because it could be an amazing knife and he might shit all over it. So it doesn't really say too much if he doesn't, but it does say a lot if he does, though. Because if he does like it, in many cases, there's been a couple times where he's loved a knife and then I shit all over it. Like, dude, this thing's not as good because it was good only action wise. Everything else sucked. But usually though, he's pretty good. Like if he really likes it, it's usually a really good knife. It's just he's kind of what's the
Well, we
word?
do need people like that in the community who have high standards. Because
Yeah, he's a diva. So being a diva.
Who gave him that phrase?
I don't know. I think it was Bees Blades. I was once French, see?
Then you're always French.
Glass blowing bastards. I'm going to shit on a Chico stick and sell to Jeffrey Dahmer. You can probably get some good money. All right, guys. I think we're about to head out of here. We've been on here for like 3 hours.
Yep.
Ryan, man, I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for inviting me on. I love having
it's been fun. And you're going to be in this list. So thank you to all the moderators. I do appreciate you. I appreciate you having my back and dropping all the links in the chat and helping me out because I definitely could not do this without you guys. You guys do make it worthwhile. And shout out to KC. Hopefully you guys do. I know I'm going to definitely jump over there and try to help out with a little bit of cash. Hopefully you guys can do the same thing or get in on the damn Kickstarter. Also, thank you to everybody who donated tonight. You guys are awesome. One last bell for you guys. That was a free one. You don't expect too many of those. I do appreciate all the patron members. We have another giveaway coming up here real soon. And I love all you guys. I can't thank you guys enough for all the support. We're over 30K now. We're headed to 50K. We're about to pass Birdshot. Let's head for Birdshot. We're going to take out Birdshot first, and then we're jumping to Metal Complex. And I hope you guys know I'm just joking. The only person that I try to beat every day is myself. If I can defeat the last thing I did like yesterday, then I'm doing pretty good. So every day I'm trying to beat my numbers, and that's how we win this. I love you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Peace.
See you guys.